lacrosse friends, welcome to the first ever game of the brand spanking new Professional Box Lacrosse Association here at the Iroquois Lacrosse Arena. We will have the Syracuse Spark and the Jim Thorpe All-Americans to kick things off and get this league underway. I am Stephen Stamp, joined by Joe Sullivan. The last thing we did was the Man Cup, and we are back and very excited to be back at some very exciting development in the history of lacrosse. We're going to go down to the floor. Joe, sorry, with the PA announcement of the players, and we'll be right back.
Number 10, Caleb Benedict. Number 12, Jay Chubb. Number 13, Zachary Hobbs. Number 38, Leroy Halftown. Number 44, Casey Swab. Number 48, Hank Delisle. Number 66, Skylar Thomas. Number 71, Sky Sunday. Number 77, Ross Creed. Number 84, Tommy Helisek. Number 88, Trevor Stacy. Number 91, Tim Sybil. Number 96, Bill O'Brien. Number 43, Rigo Johnson. Number 47, Dan Rogers. The head coach of the Syracuse Spark is Mr. Ron Kogan. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the Syracuse Spark. And now, the Jim Thorpe All-Americans. Introducing first, goaltender number 31, Craig Seneca. Number 77, Devin Napoleon. Number 3, Alec Timmis. Number 4, Curtis Woodland. Number 6, Patrick Timothy. Number 14, Dalen Hill. Number 15, Justin Martin. Number 16, Kyler Kilgore. Number 17, Lane Smith. Number 23, Carter Savitz. Number 27, Jonathan Jimerson. Number 28, Riley Johnson. Number 33, Kent Baker Printa. Number 34, the captain, Rod Squire. Number 81, Tristan Jensen. Number 99, Kevin O'Hill. Number 8, Ben Austin. Number 22, Cam Seneca. Number 17, Martin Hill. And the head coach of the Jim Thorpe All-Americans, Mr. Randy Chrysler and his coaching staff. One more time, let's hear it for the Jim Thorpe All-Americans. Fans, at this time, please focus your attention to the center forward area as we welcome PBLA co-founder.
Here we go, ready to roll, lacrosse friends, with, again, the first game in PBLA history. Here is PBLA President John Livesey coming out to do the ceremonial face-off. He will bring the captains for both teams. That is Rod Squire for the Jim Thorpe All-Americans. And looks like Dwight Biro Jr. I thought was coming forward. Yes, Dwight Barrow's going to come forward.
Just didn't want to scratch that new helmet.
Right? The helmets are beautiful. You can see these uniforms are pretty sharp. Very contrasting. The orange of the Syracuse Spark with that sparkle muffin spider on the crest on the front. A fierce-looking spider, but called a sparkle muffin. I think it's a pretty good dichotomy. Oh, and they're switching out to get the face-off stick in there. They've got the wood stick for the draw. That's beautiful. And so very new, very shiny for Syracuse. On the other side, a very traditional look with the Jim Thorpe All-Americans, honoring the tradition of Jim Thorpe, arguably the greatest athlete we've ever seen.
Yeah, that's what they say. Both teams look pretty excited to get this thing going, that's for sure. Talking to the coaches, they were both pretty excited with the picks that they got and the team they put together.
It'll be a 14-game season starting right now, going every weekend through April and then into the playoffs. The referees tonight, John Zabo, Bill Hardy, and Roger Nurse. And they will be officiating some fairly new rules. There's a couple of things that really stand out, Sully. And one is, it's the old CLAX rule with the changes. You have to change through certain doors. You have to leave the floor from the door closest to your goaltender, the defensive door. You have to come onto the floor from the door farthest from your goaltender, or the offensive door. And the real impact of that is it forces people to go both ways, and it means you can't just have somebody run off from O and gain the length of the bench to take away transition. It makes for a fast game.
I think it's going to quicken the game up quite a bit. And it may seem a little bit confusing, but it's going to add a ton of speed, and it's going to force players to play maybe out of their comfort zone in a lot of different opportunities.
Yeah, it's an interesting contrast in styles here for the two teams. We talked to Ron Cogan, the head coach for the Syracuse Spark, and he's got his offensive guys, he's got defensive guys, he's got transition guys. They're trying to work things out, figure out how it's going to work, but they want to get mostly their forwards out. Randy Chrysler, the head coach of the Jim Thorpe All-Americans, said, we're going with the old system. We got red line, blue line, and green line, and they have 3 lines of 5 and a couple of spares. 17 runners and 2 goalies allowed to dress, so they are going with lines. You're going to see someone like Lane Smith, who was an absolute sniper in Junior B, has played Senior B, has played at all kinds of levels in the game, scored over 70 goals one year in Junior B, and he's going to go back and play D, and some of his teammates were saying he's actually a really good defender.
Well, it's kind of old school versus new style, so we'll just see how it prevails. Excited to get this going. Yeah, we have Riley Johnson going to take the draw for the Jim Thorpe All-Americans on your left, going left to right in the blue with the very cool stripes on the arms, and in the bright orange, Dan Rogers and Onondaga Redhawks. Are they not the Senior B team? That's right.
Yeah. And he has a modern stick. He did play, I know, a lot of Senior B with the wooden stick. He loved the throwback, loves the the solidity of that stick. And we have a face-off violation right off the bat. So Syracuse will get the first possession in PBLA history. Here's Tommy Palasek getting their guys changed. You can see even off the start, Dwight Barrow Jr. had to head to the defensive door to get the 5th attacker out. Here's Palasek handing it off. There's a shot from outside. That one's stopped. Rio Johnson took the first one. There's a follow-up. Here comes Riley Johnson, and you can see it's easy to change up to forward because all your guys come off the floor in D and go to the bench and just come off. It's the other way that's tricky and is going to really determine how a lot of this works. Here is Curtis Woodland, the absolute star of the 2018 Founders Cup, where he helped the Aurora Mohawks win that tournament. Little cut by Carter Zavitz. You can see he is not afraid to go anywhere despite being one of the smaller players on the floor. A rip from outside, swallowed up in the goaltending equipment of the starter, John Jacobs, number 00 for the Syracuse Spark. He's actually filling in. Edmund Cathers was the Spark's first draft pick, and he wasn't able to make it today, so Jacobs was added from the practice roster.
Exciting to see just how the goalies react. They've got the smaller nets, but they got some smaller gear on there, another addition.
We had a great chat with Dallas Elliott, the god of goaltending, on the way down. He has been involved in the league, helping to design the gear that's smaller. He always played with small gear. You were talking about how,
I remember
couldn't even tell he's a goalie.
Dallas Elliott played with what you would call hockey shin pads, and he was just electrifying in net. His reaction was incredible, and to his point, he wants to see the goalies play.
Yeah, not just stand and block. So we'll see. The nets are 4 by 4'6", so 4 feet high by 4 feet 6 inches wide. So a few inches narrower than NLL nets. Ball's thrown up to Ben Austin. Here's Johnny Jimerson. driving to the net. First penalty has been called, and we may see something when this happens. We're going to explain it to you in a moment as play is stopped. The extra attacker is out. Justin Martin from the top passes it off. They find Kyler Kilgore. They've got 10 to get a shot off. They go back door. Nice little behind-the-back flip from Lane Smith, and they have another penalty, I think. We might have a second penalty.
Looks like they called 2 on that, Stephen.
Yeah. John Zabo had 1, and then Roger Nurse, as a player going to the net, was knocked down from behind. So what teams have is the option when a minor penalty is called that will create a power play or man advantage. They can opt instead. I think it may be happening now. Instead of taking the 2-minute penalty, they can take a penalty shot. They can do that twice per half.
It's only if it's not coincidental,
right?
Correct? Yep.
Right, but both penalties are to Syracuse. So it looks like they're just going to go with the 5-on-3, which honestly makes sense. It's such an advantage anyway.
Well, you want to get the feel. These guys need to feel the ball a little bit, need to throw it around, start to know each other a little bit in game style. Yeah.
So they'll go 5-on-3. So they'll probably go with the 4-on-3. It looks like, oh, wait a second. They are going to do penalty shot for one of them, and then they'll go, and then they will have a power play because there were 2 penalties. So twice per half, you can take the option to have a penalty shot instead of a minor penalty. If there's a major penalty, you can opt to have a penalty shot and a minor served by that player. That player who took the penalty would still have to serve the 5 minutes, and an in-home would go in to serve the 2.
I think it's exciting. Fans are excited to watch this.
Here we go. This is Hill coming in. Marty Hill with the first goal in the PBLA, and it comes on a penalty shot, and he is looking for the ball. They're going to say that Roger Nurse is way ahead of him. They're taking the ball over to the bench to put that one aside for posterity.
It's amazing how the goal scorers can come in, and they just make it seem so effortless. He just trots in, he knows his spot, throws a couple, and there he goes.
John Jacobs is probably wishing he had a little bit bigger pads.
Just a little bit. Those shoulder pads were a little bigger, but to Dallas's point, it really makes the goalies be a bigger player in the game now. They've got to be athletic. They've got to show that. That's fantastic. Great move.
Yeah. So Marty Hill, they had to make some adjustments on the numbers. I mean, everything. It's a new league. Everything coming together, and as you can imagine, getting a few last-minute details down, but the jerseys are here, and they look good. The players are playing, and the first goal is on the board in PBLA Season 1. Marty Hill. We always call him Marty. We're going with Marty, unless he comes and tells us he prefers Martin. I've always known him as Marty. That's what he's always called.
The game looks great. It's a brand new turf here at Six Nations as well, which really pops.
It does. It was just laid down in November. So this is probably the first official game on the turf. I know there were some Canadian Lacrosse League combines held here a while ago, and the turf's great. And there were some NLL preseason games.
Were there some here? Yeah.
Yeah. So, but first, this would be the first regular season game that has been held on this turf.
All-Americans putting a little bit of pressure on them.
Yeah, Sky Sunday going to the net, gets a shot. I think that may have caught the far board. I believe there was a save by Craig Seneca.
No, he just didn't see his player coming at the front door there. They had a real good opportunity.
Yeah. And this you can see the guys coming back from the offensive zone to play defense for Syracuse. And they had, I think, 3 players. They are shorthanded. 3 of them went back to play, the guys who'd been up. So I would imagine shorthanded, you're going to have defensive guys go up for the offensive shifts. But those are decisions you've got to make.
Yeah, it's going to change the game a little bit, that's for sure.
The other thing to note, we'll do this first as it comes up to Hill. This is Kevin Owen Hill. His shot is stopped, and Syracuse looking for a break. But as the camera goes across, look at the Syracuse bench. Everybody's up by that door because everyone's got to come out that way. So you can't just have your O guys at one door, your D guys at the next. And because Syracuse is trying to do their O and D, they're going to have challenges at the door, which is a strategic decision. And I'm not going to say it's a bad thing. I mean, you've got to just sort that out. But you can see how busy it is as they're trying to figure out who's going to go out. It'll be a little simpler for Jim Thorpe because they are running the groups of 5.
So and it's exhausting too. So it's a little learning curve for everybody, to your point.
Sidearm rip there from Skylar Thomas.
Skylar's a great lacrosse player. Played with the Bucks this summer.
Akwesasne?
Akwesasne Bucks, and I had him in the Arena Lacrosse League where he developed into just an absolute fantastic player. It's great to see him get an opportunity here.
Skyler came out a couple seasons ago in the ALL, had 10 points in his first game, right? The one season?
Well, yeah, we literally made a trade for him here in the lobby.
Drive by Patrick Timothy. He lands in the crease, and then he's got a great story. Patrick Timothy from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, went to a combine. He played IBLA down in Florida. That's his only box experience, really, and he is stoked to play here. And he said, he feels his speed will be an advantage, but he is figuring out box lacrosse as he goes. And he just got introduced to the box game by Bill O'Brien, who's one of the bigger, tougher characters, and just set a pick on him that bounced Timothy about 3 feet and then gave him a little chop there. There's O'Brien throwing the body around, but nicely handled on that check by Jonathan Jimerson.
Bill's just such a strong player, so strong.
Ron Cogan, the head coach for Syracuse, said the league has put them on notice as being the rough and tough team because they've got Bill O'Brien, they've got Casey Swamp, they've got Trevor Stacey, all known for toughness. There's a shot from Hill looking for his second goal. He misses, and we're 5 minutes into the first quarter.
To your point, Stephen, all tough players, but all well-accomplished lacrosse players.
Oh, yeah.
They've all done some fantastic things in their careers.
Yep. You were saying, Casey Swamp's another guy who played for you in Peterborough, and he, you said just an absolutely tough defender. Oh, nice save. Craig Seneca. And then the long outlet pass. And that's trying to take advantage. You can see Syracuse has 2 or 3 players going to the bench, and you lose. The thing in the normal game, there's a shot by Woodland. He misses that one. He's trying to track down his own rebound. He gets it. Didn't hit the net. Oh, they did. No, the 30-second clock expires. I thought they gave him a reset.
You're going to see a lot of players totally out of their comfort zone in positions they haven't probably played on purpose in years.
You can see how fast it is, though, and that's going to be part of it. And the first game, it can seem a little helter-skelter as players adjust to it. As people get used to it, boy, this style, I love it. I'm actually a fan of this rule because I think it forces people to play. As Randy Chrysler, the head coach for Jim Thorpe, said, makes you play old school lacrosse. Just be a lacrosse player, play both ways. Nice outlet pass to Woodland. He's got Timothy ahead, but Timothy is picked up nicely there by Rogers, who's then going to slide out and try and get a stick on, and that pass goes awry. Now they're looking long bomb. That's a little too long. It's a goalie-to-goalie pass. Nice try by John Jacobs, but it got away from him.
Yeah, keep them honest.
Yeah, and here's Jimerson.
Yeah, you talk about a player like Casey Swamp, and he's a big player, big defender. Yeah. Be interesting to see how he holds up in here. I know he's conditioned himself to be in a lot better shape to be able to put up with this. Here's Kyler Kilgore, the son of legendary coach Darius Kilgore, one of the all-time great coaches. That's a reset as Jacobs made the save, and it's grabbed there by Ben Austin. It's Jimerson, who had some space, had to double clutch, which maybe affected his shot. He goes high and wide, and it's scooped up by Syracuse. Darius Kilgore, fantastic coach, game changer, and just an absolute menace to play against. In junior, he was with St. Catharines when I was in Peterborough, and he could own the floor when he was out there.
He'd score a goal, go win the faceoff, score another one, and then beat you up.
Little Gordie Howe, yep.
Yeah. Oh, nice finish. Is it in? It is in. Is that Sky Sunday with the first goal for the Spark?
Yeah, it looks like he just came in off on the. They made a nice swing pass across. Found him stand there alone. I think he went short side. We're going to get a better look at it here, I would think.
Well, we're waiting 7:45 to go here in the first quarter. We will take a break, media timeout, when we get past the midway point of the quarter. Very pleased to be on Lacrosse TV, formerly Lac Sports Network. Thanks for being with us, lacrosse friends. It is flying along. I can't believe we're 7:15 into this game.
It's just nonstop, really. It's been everything that they promised it to be.
Johnson and Rogers once again at the dot. Rogers comes away with it, drops the ball, and that gives Johnson a chance to get on him. He knocks it loose, and it will be scooped up by Dalen Hill. Hill down into the corner, and Marty Hill's going to slow things down. Tried to get it to Johnson, but popped right out of his stick.
Just trying to get the information from that goal there to keep everybody informed.
Yeah, it was Sky Sunday, right?
Sky Sunday, yeah, that's right. Number 71.
Did you hear the assist? I did not.
Hops.
Okay. Zachary Hops.
Zachary Hops tallies in early.
Oh, wide open chance. Hard twister attempted by Rio Johnson. But Craig Seneca stayed home, did not travel with Johnson. I think he saw the twister coming. Johnson gets the loose ball back. There's a drive to the net, a little bounce shot.
And Seneca's been tested early here in tight. And again, remembering brand new equipment, head to toe. That's a big change for these guys to go into, and it's smaller.
It is. Not like drastically, but enough to make a difference.
Yeah,
to open up the net. You can see, just look at the net there. You can see the space around John Jacobs. Even with the net being 3 inches narrower, that hard shot from the outside is going to go over and back. Cam Seneca will stop it, and we will be going to the break. It's 1-1 with 6:28 to go in the first. I'm Steven Stamp with Joe Sullivan. We'll be right back to the PBLA.
So you'll see here on that Sparks goal, they go far side. They're going to skip it across on a difficult pass. They just catch Seneca coming across post to post. Sky Sunday with great patience and great hands, able to find that inside.
And I think the officials had to look. They didn't see right away, and Sky Sunday's celebrating. Oh, there's a ball in the pad. Is that like a magician thing? He's like, no, look, there's a ball here. Is that like having a dove in your jacket?
I don't know if that was from warm-up or what, or just the way that rolled in there.
That's crazy. Great look on the replay, guys, to see that. Skylar Thomas across the top, hands it off. Here's Jay Chubb trying to get to the top. Jimerson on him. Caleb Benedict dropped it. Justin Martin was almost gone. Martin, I think, is going to be a force in this league. He was the first All-Star transition player for the Arena Lacrosse League last year with the Six Nations Snipers, and he just looked fantastic. I mean,
Caleb Benedict with a great opportunity there as well, and he's somebody that the coach for Syracuse actually said, hey, keep an eye on this young guy. He's got some great talent.
Yeah. There's a pass in the middle. It doesn't quite connect. Dan Rogers comes away with the ball. Oh, big swinging check by Lane Smith, who's back playing some D. And he's a big, strong dude and a bit of a menace. Like, letting a guy like that who gets whacked all the time playing O come back and play D. Sometimes they have a bit of a vendetta against their opponents.
Oh, yeah, well, that's the old school portion of this thing.
Yeah. Talk to guys like Derek Keenan, some of the great older players. Darius Kilgore, another example. And they'll say, yeah, you'd play O, and then if a guy, here's a break for Hill, Dalen Hill, big save. Jacobs just got it with the jersey. What a job.
Got a little English on that spin coming off of that there, and it rolled right back out for him.
But they'd say, you're up playing O, guys are wailing on you, you get your turn.
Oh yeah.
Next, and that doesn't really happen so much now.
They take a guy's number and you're going to go down, you're going to face him, 20 seconds later, 30 seconds later.
Spin inside by Sunday, nice D from Carter Zavitz, another player known for his offense. The big pick, though, from Caleb Benedict, a little bit much. And here comes Zavitz. Helped the St. Catharines Athletics win the OJLL championship back in 2021 when they had that shortened season, which was so exciting. Get everything going at once.
Penalty
coming, yeah. Only 10 seconds on the shot clock, and they're just getting their extra attacker out. So we'll see. Oh, what a rip. Flattened as he takes it. That was Casey Swamp lowering the boom, but the goal puts Jim Thorpe back up 2-1.
Yeah, they just, you'll see here, we can get her going here. They didn't take it full advantage. The Syracuse defense sat back a little bit and allowed them the time to get their sixth player out there. That little bit of time allowed them to swing it down and just go for a quick stick off the bottom there, mid-ranged.
All the Syracuse defenders, as you mentioned, on pretty much on one side of the floor. Casey Swamp was the only one getting out there. Was that Kent Baker Printup that finished at 33? Yeah.
Yes, it was.
If we don't see it, you can always rely on the camera guys to get it. Nice work there.
Yeah, great coverage, fellas. See Travis Hill over there, an ex-Minnesota Swarm.
I didn't see him before the game. What a beauty. He was one of my favorite players back in the CLAX days. And, oh, my goodness.
He was a lot of fun to coach in Minnesota, a real character, and one of the favorites, and for sure, pound for pound, right up there with one of the toughest guys that went on the floor.
So smart. I think he's going to be a great coach. He's assistant coaching with Jim Thorpe, in case we didn't mention that. Here's Jay Chubb. Feeds it through. Oh, looked like Hank Delisle was going to go for the fancy spinning reverse whip, but it just got away from him. Long outlet pass, swallowed up by Ben Austin.
Yeah, as that defense was all trying to get off the floor, they left Cam Seneca kind of by himself there to find that open man.
Pass over to Patrick Timothy. Waiting for a pick. Zach Hops on him. Hops just grabs on to Ben Austin as Austin tried to come and set a pick and just dragged him about 10 feet across the floor.
A lot of athleticism there in Timothy.
Oh, he's
coming out of the corner. That's
so
fantastic.
Athletic, yeah. He's still figuring out the game, as we mentioned. And we, of course, I mean, first game for this league, we're still getting familiar with some of these players. Most of them you'll know from, or we know from various leagues that they've played in, but there's some new ones. And that's part of the idea of the PBLA, is to give young American players in particular a chance to learn the game and get a chance to really develop and grow in box lacrosse, because they just haven't had the chances.
No, and we face that all the time. In my time in Minnesota and different places, you had some great athletes.
Picked off by Benedict. Caleb Benedict breakaway, scores.
There's the guy that the coach told us to keep an eye on. Shows up early.
Next best thing to a penalty shot, Caleb Benedict.
Yeah, you're not going to get much more open than that one, and he took full advantage there. He creates the turnover by positioning himself in, comes down, makes no doubt about it. Great opportunity, great shot, great finish.
Now, the one thing I didn't see, Kevin Owen Hill's chasing him and just couldn't catch up because Benedict had the head start, but who threw the pass? Was it the goalie?
The goalie made the clear pass, and
Benedict picked it off. Okay, so I was just double checking whether it was him, because if it was a defender, you'd think he'd have been back there. But so that explains it. The wide open look for Caleb Benedict, and we're 2-2 as we're under 3 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Nice spin by Skylar Thomas. Dalen Hill stays with him. Thomas, among those 10 points, as I mentioned, that one Arena League game, I think it was 8 assists, was it not? 8 or 9?
It was 8 assists, yes, that's right, yeah.
Now he's looking for a goal. He can't get the pass in the middle, though, but it's knocked away there. I think Kent Baker Printup got on him.
Skylar is a no-quit guy. I mean, he's small for sure, but he can take it and he can dish it out, and he can definitely finish when given the opportunity.
Hard rip to the far side by Woodland. In that 2018 Founders Cup, he led the tournament in goals. He also had more assists than anyone else had points. He was electric in that championship. Pass gets back to Hill, and he rips it home. What a shot by Kevin Owen Hill. It looked like he kind of double clutched, like he was considering whether to shoot. Obviously a good decision to do so.
Yeah, I think he just buys himself enough time to be able to do that double clutch, caught the goalie. You're going to see as they swing it across, back up to himself there, a little bit of a double tuck. Yeah, there he goes. Just enough time to make the goalie, just go a little bit different than where he wanted to be in Cape Meta position.
Yeah, you had the two defenders coming out, trying to get on him. I think it was Carmen Papa and maybe Zach Hops both coming out, but they left so much space up the middle that he realized that opportunity was there. I think what I saw as a hesitation was actually him just sidestepping to get into the perfect shooting lane.
Yeah. A lot of times you'll see the good shooters, unlike myself, actually take that time to line up a defenseman so the goalie can't see that shot.
Yeah. Ross Cree wound up winning that face-off, but it's turned right over. Here's Justin Martin. Nice pass. There's the not finish, the save by Jacobs. And a great chance for Cam Seneca.
Yeah, very good opportunity. Good numbers game there.
Here's Leroy Halfdown with the ball on the far side. Remember seeing Leroy at a Lax Night tournament? He was there early, getting ready. He is one of these guys who just loves the game. Oh, face save by Craig Seneca. There's Justin Martin. Look at these wheels. He just turns it on, the acceleration. Very impressive. He's looking for someone to pass to. He'll hand it off and go for a change.
He does have some incredible speed, that's for sure. And they've got to take note of that, especially in a game like this where it's just go, go, go.
Yeah. And that's one thing you got to figure. They were basically looking at speed. We talked, Ron Cogan talked. He wanted to have the best goal he could. He wanted to be tough. He wanted to be, have good skill, but really looking for mix. And Roger Chrysler said, when we said, what's your team going to be? You were asking, what's his team going to be like? He said, family and fast.
Family and fast.
Yeah.
You put that together, you got quite a recipe.
Yeah. But you saw Justin Martin running up, and the thing, of course, with the 5-man units, in most cases in this league, you will be changing, going from D to O. So if somebody runs up in transition, they've got to decide either to stay, which can mess up the units, and you get your guys out of sync, or you pass it off and run back to the bench and take a bit. But
again, it'll be a learning curve for these guys, these young men, to actually work with each other and get better at.
And then you go run back and play defense, and then you make your change, which is a chance to take away. That's how you can take away transition. That one goes in.
He's from the restraining line there on his wrong side.
Rio Johnson just goes underhand, and it kind of pinballed around a bit, I think, through the legs, and that's with 1.9 seconds on the clock.
You see he's on his wrong side. He's waiting, and then he realizes that not much time's left on the clock, and he just lets one go. He sees something he likes and just handcuffs the Jim Thorpe goalie.
I think that went right through the legs of Kyler Kilgore.
Great patience, great wherewithal, great time clock management.
And just like that, Syracuse is up 4-2. We'll have this last draw. Probably not much going to happen. Rogers gets it, and that will do it. We are through 15 minutes at Syracuse 4, Jim Thorpe 2 in the first ever game of the PBLA. I'm Stephen Stamp with Joe Sullivan. We will be back in 2 minutes. Welcome back, lacrosse friends, to the first game in PBLA history. It's actually 3-3. They've corrected it on the score clock, and Sully, take them through these goals.
Well, right here, you get your penalty shot, first one of the year, and honestly, that's a shooter's shot for sure. He's just so patient. Freezes the goalie up and does exactly what he wants to do. You're going to come down here and watch that swing shot that catches Seneca just off the post a little bit. Couldn't get across. Great hands. Here you're going to see the Jim Thorpe All-Americans. They just move the ball around. Come up. Going to go short side, mid-range. That's a great shot. Strong finish by Mr. Swamp.
A lot of space.
And, of course, there's Mr. Benedict that we talked about earlier, just playing like electric out there. And here we go with the double clutch, bang, and then there's the shot. Wow. Fantastic patience. And here you go, wrong side, buzzer beater. Fantastic effort. Fantastic effort. I don't think the goalie thought that was coming at all. So
no, Rio Johnson, yeah, just dropping the head of the stick. And like you said, pinballed around a little, got through. We'll go the other way now. We'll have the Jim Thorpe All-Americans going right to left in their blue with the striped jerseys, striped arms. And going left to right in their orange on orange on orange, the Syracuse Spark.
Well, there's quite a buzz in here.
Yeah.
Quite a buzz in here. Good crowd.
I just actually noticed because, things got going. Yeah. It's also hectic getting ready. And there is a good crowd in here, and they're enjoying it. The pass across doesn't connect. Go ahead.
You won't find much faster.
No. Bill O'Brien's pass is knocked down, but goes straight back to him. As Marty Hill was on him, long outlet pass, that'll be picked off. They're trying to beat the 8-second count, which they may have already been over, actually.
A lot of people were yelling 8.
Yeah. Here is Tristan Jensen wearing the 24.
Nice toe drag there on the far side.
And taking the hit after the shot, that was Bill O'Brien flattening him. Bill O'Brien will make you pay if you come into his space.
Yeah, and not a dirty player by any means. Just solid player in great shape always.
I've got one of my favorite Bill O'Brien stories. I'll tell you when we have a minute. It was very funny. Here we go. Hank Delisle's going to get this. So he was playing. Yeah, there's no GoPro tonight. He does Thrill-O-Vision, well-known videos of his play, and he was playing in the U.S. blue versus white game at the Baltimore LaxCon a few years ago against his friend.
Great save.
Josh Hawkins. Great stop by Seneca. And he, we'll tell this a bit later. I'm going to tell it at the break. I want to follow this game. It's just too half fast. Here's Alec Tamas. Pass across. Jimerson, great job to elude the check and finish. That was a pretty solid check that came from Carmen Pop, and he just sloughed it off.
That's just the momentum and speed of this game. We went one side, Skylar Sunday, races through, splits 3 guys, gets a good opportunity. Goalie takes that long bomb pass, comes right back down, and you can see what ends up happening here. They go tic-tac-toe, and he gets right in on the crease, and Jimerson's not going to make a mistake there.
And this is the second and third quarters where your goalie is at the far end of the floor from you. You can make those long breaks because if somebody leaks out and gets to the bench, then you do get the advantage of the length of the bench, and it's awfully hard to make that up if you didn't have somebody running back with them already. So it's 4-3 for Jim Thorpe. Yeah, we got it all sorted out. It did go show 4-2 on the scoreboard for a bit for Syracuse. They never did get the fourth. We'll have Johnson and Rogers back at the face-off dot. I think John Jacobs is saying, hey, let's just take a peek at this net, make sure everything's okay.
You see the lineup of Syracuse here off the face-off. They've got their draw men on the far restraining line pulled way wide, trying to open that floor up. Maybe the expectation is their draw man's able to pick that up and just run the floor. We'll see. Bill O'Brien pills it right through.
Pass ahead. Hank Delisle spinning shot. Seneca got just enough, and then it has to flip over and land on it. You can pick the ball up out of the crease and score.
Hank Delisle played a little summer ball for me with Ottawa this summer and joined us at the President's Cup. Fantastic athlete. Again, what he lacks in size, he's got so much heart and determination. He's incredible. So gritty. Here's Dwight Bureau Jr. Again, a longtime player, just such a steady, smart player. Here comes Zach Hops on the run, turns the second gear. What a check from Jonathan Jimerson. Hops looked like he was taking off. That's going to be an over and back. You can really see, like, these guys, this is really something. They're up and back and up again. Yeah. And they are tired. They're looking for an opportunity here to get some bodies. And the coaches are literally having to exist. You change ends in the quarter, you change benches, you go in and come out. So you've got the coaches pointing guys as they're coming to the bench where to go. Basically, the way it works, you have to, once the player coming off has a foot in the change box, the player can go out the other end. Where it gets tricky sometimes is if you're changing and you have a turnover, your team has the ball, turns it over. Your instinct, if you're just a couple steps out, go back into the bench. You can't go in that door. Yeah, I mean, that's a complete change to what they're used to. What a finish on the rebound. It pops up. The shot snagged there. Who was that got that one? Is it Dalen Hill, 14? Dalen Hill, 14, yeah. And you see that the Americans just take their time here. They make a change. A couple new fresh bodies come out, and then they turn around and just find some time. On his own shot that he followed. Right off of his own shot, the rebound, and it goes far side. Now, whose foot was that in the crease? Yeah, I don't know if they're going to take a look at that. But I guess they can't. We don't have the replay review. So. Anyways, it's easy for us to say when you see it like that, but... Yeah, but you know what? As I watched it, I saw the feet go in, but then I was watching as it goes, and I think we were seeing the defender, Zach Hops' shoes. He's got the white shoes. Dalen Hill, I think, has the black shoes that were behind, so I don't know if you'd be able to really see it anyway. Yeah, so I think it was the defender, so good goal. We'll have to see if the Syracuse team can wear some orange shoes next game. Right? Those uniforms look fantastic. They do. Such a contrast, right, in the two styles. I mentioned it before, but yeah, love the old school look of Jim Thorpe. Again, honoring the great athlete, Jim Thorpe. Here's Patrick Timothy trying to get that loose ball. He will come up with it, but the 30 is expired on the man. The ball will be turned over to Syracuse. So you see the All-Americans, they're just going to go back in and settle, put a little bit of mild pressure on there, and then pick them up in the neutral. Sunday slips through, gets the pass, somehow fed through there. Super pass from Ross Cree. Got a reset. Got the shot on, but the save again by Craig Seneca. Backdoor another one, quick post to post, making like Mike Poulin going post to post on that one. I always thought Pooley was one of the best going across the crease. Yeah, absolutely he was. And as we're hearing from the booth, good point, stripes on the jerseys, who was with the Swarm. I always loved the Swarm jerseys too. Yeah, those stripes. Hard shot off the boards. May have saved an over and back by spinning and getting a hand on it, Alec Tamas, but it's picked up by Syracuse. They're going the other way. Carmen Papa will hand it off, and Rio Johnson didn't quite get that one like he did the one at the end of the first quarter, but Johnson's going to go pick up this loose ball. They're down to 15 on the shot clock. Those loose balls are going to be so imperative for a team to be able to stay, on top of their game here and not get worn out. Yeah. Johnson, he likes to shoot. We're seeing that. He's a player that I'm pretty new to. Skylar Thomas gets it back. Another great save from Craig Seneca. Goaltending is going to be so important. I mean, so far the transition from the bigger pad to the smaller pad, great opportunity. Pretty seamless, right? Fantastic save. Fantastic save coming across, just getting the stick up in time. And here we go back the other way now. Tim Zimmel with, look at the wheels from Patrick Timothy to get back and check him. And his coaches are going to love that hustle. All the way from Fort Lauderdale. Yeah. I said before the game, I was talking to him, and I said, I don't know if you're fast, but if you are, this game will suit you. And he said, yeah, speed's my thing. We saw it there. He's showing it, that's for sure. Bouncer there from Leroy Halftown. Seneca was all over that one. And the long outlet pass. He's got Marty Hill. It's tipped. Halftown just got enough of it. Otherwise, Marty Hill was sprung. Quite a pace to watch go back and forth here. Syracuse put the ball again. Skylar Thomas backing away. They're going to slow things down a little.
The 30-second clock is just running to our left. It's got 13 seconds on it. Crease violation, and it'll be possession to the Jim Thorpe All-Americans.
Syracuse trying to make a change. They get some bodies caught.
Jim Thorpe had Curtis Woodland coming off the bench, but passed a bit behind him. He couldn't catch it. Here's Zach Hops. Stutter start. Gets going now. Passes across to the far side. There's Sky Sunday. Hank Delisle behind the back. Just a little off target. He had some space on the post. The Seneca had drifted across a little.
Oh, just trying to get one late shot in there. Mr. O'Brien let one rip.
That was about 12 feet wide.
Oh.
He was on the run and rushed, so you can't blame him.
So is it a no-touch rule on possession? On possession change?
What do you mean?
The defensive team has to leave it, or are they allowed to stop it and roll it? Or?
Oh, no, they have to just put it down. That's late. The play had been blown down. We heard the whistle before that shot went in for sure. Because Lane Smith, though, showing you the skill he's got. I think it's Alec Tamas going to the box. He took the penalty before Smith put that in. But still, what a finish by Lane Smith. I don't know if we get a chance to look at that again, because we normally don't look at non-goals. But, yeah, that was pretty.
That really was, yeah. Going to watch him swing it across. Comes in strong. Floor opens up just a little bit. Takes it over top. That's a great effort.
Yeah. So with 8:34 to go in the first half, Syracuse has not used their penalty shot. They're going to now.
They're going to use it now.
It's going to be Skylar Thomas, just who you would probably think.
Well, that's who I would pick, but I mean, who am I? Skylar's put a lot of goals in for my Timberman team, and he'll probably have a great opportunity here.
Oh.
He just gives a little skip there that froze the goalie up, and
it looked like Craig Sankin just didn't know where he wanted to go.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of an unorthodox approach to the penalty shot, but that's fantastic. I mean, he takes his time. He comes in a slow jog, and you're going to see him just do a little skip and a bounce, and there he goes.
Just gets over to that far side. Beautiful play. So the power play, or the penalty shot goal. So each team has one more that they can use
in this half, right?
In this
they get
half,
two per half.
Two per half. Rogers and Johnson once again at the dot. We've got 8.5 to go here. Stick with us at halftime, as we will have an interview with Travis Eldridge talking to Commissioner Steve Donner. You're going to want to catch that and learn more about the PBLA.
The All-Americans are really trying to defend this face-off, just coming right through the middle.
Yeah. Yeah, they set Rod Squire right on the center of the restraining line. Just take away any chance of anything happening. Syracuse really setting their forwards out wide. So like you said, trying to open things up and create a lane. Like you said, obviously thinking Rogers can just scoop it to himself. Here's a dive attempt from behind. Then the pass. I think that confused everyone. Didn't confuse Leroy Halfdown. Nope, crease. Roger Nurse races in, says he was on the crease. Emphatic. And here's a break the other way. Alec Tamas just misses. Here's Hank Delisle. We're going to go the other way. Now there's some confusion.
I don't know if it was
handling it okay.
That crease call might have been from behind the net, actually, because he looked like he was going to dunk it.
Yeah.
And then made that pass.
Yeah, we're going to see it when we get a chance. There's just no timer at this point. But Roger Nurse was up at the half boards and came running in, so I figured it had to be the shooter, Leroy Halfdown. So that one's tipped. Zimmel managed to avoid going into the crease, and then an awkward little pass, but it gets there from John Jacobs, and here goes Zimmel. They've got Palasek on this side on his offside. They'll pass it to him. He had nothing he could do there. Palasek still running about. We'll hand it off there to Skylar Thomas. Rio Johnson to Zachary Hops. Oh, nice defensive work. Great footwork. I want to catch who that is, because that's Kevin Owenhill. Great work, and he's a guy who plays the D-tranny role.
That's some strong defense there, and you can't say enough about that footwork, because you're not just talking about anybody they're trying to defend against.
Yeah, Hops is quick, side to side, that lateral motion. Here's Patrick Timothy. He's going to let that rip. That's well wide. It'll be an over and back. Actually goes into the Syracuse bench. And we are going to the break as we have 6:42 to go here in the first half. It is 5-4 for the Jim Thorpe All-Americans. I'm Steven Stamp with Joe Sullivan. We'll be back in a minute and a half.
You're going to see from behind the net, it looked like he was attempted to dunk, and then he threw it out front for a great opportunity. You're going to looking for the loose ball, and then you can see, just at the top of the crease,
that was Jay
Syracuse
Chubb.
player, just fell back into the crease just enough. Great visual for Roger Nurse to pick that up from that far out.
Yeah, because it was neither the player, Rio Johnson from behind, nor Leroy Halftown who scored it.
That's
it was
right.
Jay Chubb kind of going for the loose ball, getting spun around by the defender getting on him. So, good call by Roger Nurse. And this is a challenge. The officials getting into some new things as well. And I haven't seen anything egregiously bad so far.
Not at all.
Nice save by Seneca, throwing it up to knock away that shot from Sky Sunday.
It's really different to take a look at the nets and see so much mesh showing.
Yeah, that pass didn't get through to Delisle, but he's going to fight after it. Seneca trying to get it. You can rake under the goalie's stick if it's outside the crease, but he was able to pull it in. Riley Johnson, 5-hole bouncer home. I thought he was going to Dalen Hill on the far side, who was in really a better shooting position, but I think maybe John Jacobs thought the same.
Well, I would have thought so because he was on his wrong side, So for him to take the ball and then veer to the left, which is his weak side, it's not something you see all the time. So that pass, great pass by the goaltender, and then just the patience here. And he finally does see something because I think he was looking to go crease.
Yeah, I think Caleb Benedict did a pretty good job taking away the cross-crease pass. So Riley Johnson thought, I'll just shoot.
And a lot of goalies will tell you they want the ball in the air or they want the shot one way or another, and that must be the discussion they had earlier.
Yeah. Back to the face-off dot. Cam Seneca, again, the great outlet pass from Craig Seneca, the goaltender. Cam Seneca checking here now on Tim Zimmel, who fights through the double team. Nice job by Zimmel to come away with that one. Hand it off to Palasek. Here's Ross Cree. His brother Garrett is on the bench helping out with Syracuse. Another great lacrosse mind from the Onondaga area, I think. I have to check with him where he's from. That one runs over. Here's Bill O'Brien. Curtis Woodland checking him. Rolls kind of reverse to what you'd usually see. And O'Brien tried to make the pass, but good. Triple team knocks it loose. Zavitz is ahead. Great pass. What a save.
Big save. Big save.
Carter Zavitz is a skilled offensive player. The great pass, and now we go the other way. Delisle, another save by Seneca. Kyler Kilgore picks it up.
Is it Skylar Thomas or Hank Delisle? They're calling for a back in, but no call.
Yeah, that was Hank Delisle.
Yep.
Oh, on the run, Marty Hill, the veteran with the sidearm sweep shot, pings in and off the far post.
Yeah, I mean, that looked like an innocent play compared to what we just seen, the back and forth basic breakaways. And then Hill off the bench here, just with a shooter's shot. Get a look at it here if we get an opportunity to. But see the Americans bench pretty happy, pretty excited to get that one. You're going to see just the transition off the bench, sees what he wants far side. It's kind of a sidearm. Great shot. Great shot.
Great awareness, seeing the defender, Rio Johnson, running over to him and saying, oh, I have a shot right now. Here's Dalen Hill. The Hills have been on fire. Rod Squire, the captain, with the bouncer, saved by Jacobs. Carmen Papa showing some wheels. Hands it off to Delisle coming from, or Skylar Thomas coming from the bench. We'll get it to Caleb Benedict.
Family and fast. It's definitely proven to be Syracuse.
Right? I mean, it's one game. It's half of one game. So we'll see how things work. Oh, what a try. Caleb Benedict with the twister. I think he got the head of the stick ahead of the goal line. The stick does have to be in front of the goal line for a shot to count as a shot. You can't score from behind the goal line. Oh, nice pass by Carter Zavitz, but Woodland is stopped. I think we're going to see a fair bit of that with Zavitz and Woodland. They are very talented players.
Casey Swamp rumbling down the floor. He's definitely in uncharted territory for him to go to the offensive end of that.
Leroy Halftown's comfortable and familiar up there, but the double team.
Great pressure. They seen that when Swamp left, they left that one Syracuse player by himself, and here they go. Transition.
What a pass. The finish by Justin Martin. I love the underhand flip pass from Kent Baker Printup. to see what was available. All he had to do, he didn't have to be precise. He had to just kind of lob it up there and let his teammate run onto it. Martin, who I think is going to be a star in this league.
Well, yeah, he's a star in everywhere he plays. He's just got such great speed. And there he's going to show his hands. Great transition. Again, we've seen it all game now. It goes one end, they get a great opportunity. It's going to zing right back the other end with another great opportunity and a great finish.
So 8-4, Jim Thorpe pulls ahead, and it's been tight, back and forth. Jim Thorpe always a little bit ahead. They're starting to pull away a bit, and this feels like one of those critical moments in a game. You don't want to get too far behind. Obviously, with the way the play goes, the pace, the opportunity to run in transition, you can come back, but you never want to get in too big of a hole. Bill O'Brien, the big check to shove Lane Smith out high.
Yeah, it's a bit of a gut check for a new team to figure out what they're all about and just what they're going to be able to play through. They definitely don't want to get too much further behind. That's a big issue for anybody to try and beat into that.
Lane Smith, nice spin to get in front. The pass over to Timothy. Tried to go high-low, but Jacobs was there. Good effort by Timothy. After a great play by Lane Smith. And then Timothy gets back. Who's it off? It's off of Jim Thorpe. Syracuse will get it. The hustle from Timothy, I'll tell you, if you're a guy that's new to the box game and you're trying to figure it all out, no better way to win over your coaches and keep getting the time to learn than to hustle like that.
Yeah, he's definitely shown he's got the speed to be here.
Oh, nice pass, but Skylar Thomas stopped by Seneca. Great outlet pass there from Ben Austin, just very calm in the face of some forecheck pressure. Knew where he could get an outlet and got it, and Martin gets it up over center. Here come the Thorpe forwards. Well, they're lined to get out there. They are going very much with 3 lines of 5 and a couple of spares, working their way in. That's going to be an illegal pick on Jim Thorpe, and Syracuse will get it.
Oh, trying to get some transition.
Oh, Zach Hops. You see the beautiful pass from Skylar Thomas, and Hops shows some hops going up to get that pass, and then the control to come down and be able to twist himself and get that shot in.
Great pass by Thomas, who was absolutely tired. That's playing an offensive defense, and then found his man open here. You'll see it come in. Ball turns over. Thomas picks it up, and if he's going to see the guy coming off the bench now, the All-Americans are saying it might have been a little bit early, but referee's seen it different, and Hops took advantage of that and buried that shot.
I think maybe the most impressive thing is Skylar Thomas is just picking that ball up on the illegal pick turnover, and how quickly he got ready to shoot when he saw that Hops was coming out.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a timeout taken by the Jim Thorpe All-Americans after that goal. Randy Chrysler wants to chat with his club. So it's 8-5 for Jim Thorpe. 2:37 to go in the first half. Remember, at halftime, we will see Travis Eldridge talking with Steve Donner. And we're going to take another look at that last goal.
So again, they get a back pick that they had to call back over, change of possession. Skylar Thomas is going to dig it up. He takes a look up floor and just feathers that pass full stride. And again, Hops, no mistake.
I'll tell you, Hops is fast, but he was a long way into the offensive zone. Now, then again, you're changing at the restraining line, so he's actually only 5 steps from the bench. So if somebody got there, they could have sprung. I didn't see.
Well, that's what you're looking to push in any kind of a transition game. You're looking to push the boundaries there and get every inch you can, and he took full advantage. But again, great speed in that pass. He didn't even have to hesitate. He was full stride.
Yeah. What an athletic play, to make that catch, and he's kind of spinning. He's a lefty, having to catch it, turn back, reach up, and to be able to jump like that with that kind of speed. We're going to take another look at this Craig Seneca save too.
Oh, looked like it went off both legs.
And then to drop the back leg down, seeing where it was coming. That's I didn't realize live how great that was. Thanks for showing that replay, guys, because that was fantastic.
Again, young Caleb Benedict really showing his wares here.
Rogers and Johnson once again at the dot. Johnson pulls it out, but it goes straight to Tommy Palasek. And Syracuse is going to try and build on the momentum from that Zach Hops goal.
Yeah, another one for them going into the end of the half would be a big one. Big momentum changer for them.
Halftown gets it back from Benedict. Quick move across. Jay Chubb gets to half down. Seneca has no trouble with that. He's got Hill up the floor. Oh, just behind Dalen Hill. And he was trying to look through the upraised stick of Hank Delisle. He does get the ball, but they have no opportunity on the transition break, so they're going to slow things down a little, make some changes.
Hill was gone. That must be a game plan. Hill was gone right off that shot.
Yeah. They're taking off when somebody's winding up, which can be dangerous, but it can create opportunities. Woodland. Oh, that's off the crossbar, off the stick of Jacobs, off the crossbar and out. That ball was moving around. I thought Woodland had his first. Here come Syracuse. They've got it's a 3-on-3.
Looks like we might have some tranny guys or some D guys up the floor here trying to move the ball. They go bang some bodies.
Caleb Benedict hands it off. Zach Hops is directing traffic, saying, "Head over there, go do this." And again, they're new. These are new teams that draft in October, a secondary draft in November. What a chance and a great save! Craig Seneca has been sensational. Zavitz drops the ball, gets up into Carmen Papa's face, but Papa fights through it and comes away with possession for Syracuse.
Minute left in the half.
This will be a timeout for Syracuse. You do get one timeout per half. They don't carry over, so they elect to use it now. And then,
no, they're calling something here, Steve.
Yeah, Trevor Stacey is getting a penalty.
That's a tough time to take that penalty when your team's trying to rally to get that one, and they got a lot of pressure going on, a lot of momentum shift.
Yeah. I would think we're going to see a penalty shot here. I would.
Yeah, use it if you've got it, right?
Yeah. Let's take a look at this save / crossbar.
This is an absolute rifle shot.
Beautiful play by Woodland.
Yeah, just looks like it. Did it roll up the shoulder or the stick and then off?
I think it went off the shaft of the stick and up and out. That's a play. Curtis Woodland. He's a pretty big guy. You can see how well he moves. And he uses the length of his legs and the length of his stride to really move laterally and create, drive in and then cut across. And he just gets further, I think, than defenders realize he can get because he's got that long, smooth stride.
Yeah, it's not overly fast, just strong and long, like you said.
So it looks like Jim Thorpe is opting not to take the penalty shot. We've got 2 minutes up on the board. Take Trevor Stacey off the floor. Stacey, known for being robust as a player.
I mean, he's a tough guy to play against. If you're playing against in the summer, he's in Ganawake. If you're playing against him, you know he's on the floor. He won't go ignored.
I'm a little surprised. I thought they'd go with the penalty shot.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why not, but I mean, again, maybe they just want to. They've got a 3-goal lead. Maybe they want to get their guys hot with the stick here a little bit.
Yeah, it's true. You're pushing.
Yeah.
So you have up to 2 per half that you can use for the penalty shot when there's a penalty on the other team. So they did have the other opportunity. Of course, the first goal of the game was the penalty shot.
It does let their guys on the bench get a rest, get a breath here, I mean, but they're going into the half. I don't know. It could be argued either way.
Marty Hill feeds it down. Cam Seneca with the shot. That one's stopped by Jacobs. Important loose ball here as we're nearing the 30-second mark. Lane Smith gets her, still bouncing around, and now Syracuse has it. If they want, they could pull their goalie and go 5-on-5. Probably dangerous, and Dwight Burrow's going to lose the ball with all kinds of checking pressure from Lane Smith and Carter Zavitz. Smith and Zavitz are 2 of just 3 players on Jim Thorpe who are listed as forwards. Everyone else is listed as transition. And that was a great defensive play by the 2 of them. Here's Marty Hill. Oh, there's Curtis Woodland's first. And that is classic Curtis Woodland. A little misdirection, step across and tuck it home.
But great pass, too. I mean, if you take a look, I mean, I don't know if everybody else thought he was going to take that shot from the crease side, but he did, and he had the wherewithal and the patience to turn around and find Woodland sitting there alone out front. So as they take off down, they've got numbers. They've got a 3-on-2 situation. Takes it off to the far side, slides underneath, and just has such patience there to find Woodland, who makes no mistake about it.
That's a gorgeous pass. Marty Hill, the veteran. Randy Chrysler, you can see him. He's asking about a timeout. Do we have a timeout? No, I think they've used it. He was asking if they have one. They do not. 8 seconds to go. Jim Thorpe gets a nice behind the back pass from Johnson. Shot from the outside. And they get another one. Wow.
Two very late and great opportunities there that really they made something out of nothing.
What a first half in the first ever game of the PBLA here at the Iroquois Lacrosse Arena. I'm Steven Stamp with Joe Sullivan. Stick around. We will have Travis Eldridge talking with Commissioner Steve Donner during the break, and we'll be back for the second half in 12 minutes.
So we're now joined by the commissioner of the new Indoor Pro Box Lacrosse Association, the PBLA, Steve Donner. Steve, thanks so much for taking some time during a busy time for you as you guys get ready to launch this league later this month.
Oh, Travis, thank you. It is an exciting time for us, the league, but like I say, it's a pleasure to be with you here today.
So pitch me the vision. Where did this come from, the idea to start this new indoor box league?
Well, I've been involved with lacrosse for decades, and the indoor game as well. And, love the NLL. It's a great product, great players. And probably for over a decade, I think not just me, but a number of people were looking for ways to introduce more American players, to indoor lacrosse, box lacrosse. And I think the evolution of the NLL, for one reason or another, I think when the MILL first started, the player pool was almost 80% American. And over the last 25 years, it's sort of just evolved to almost 96% Canadian the other way. And at the same time, the growth of lacrosse in the U.S. has just been going through a tremendous growth spurt in every direction, whether it's on the field or in the box. Organically, it's been growing leaps and bounds. And so the players themselves were the ones sort of saying, we need an outlet, for American players to play box lacrosse. I think the NLL recognizes that, for if they want to go to 30 franchises someday, they've got to find a solution for it too. So independently, John Livesey and myself, had this vision over the last 3 years. We were working on it through COVID, slowed down a little bit through COVID, and put together partnerships, with a few other people that shared our vision, and the league is being born. And really, what it is, Travis, is high-level box lacrosse, with a high emphasis on developing American players and American coaches.
Well, and I think you look at some of the rosters that you guys have put out there, and there are some names that are Americans that people will recognize, whether they're playing in the PLL or were great college players in the field. What's been the reception from the pool of players that you've pulled in about the opportunity to play pro indoor lacrosse?
Well, the reception has really blown us away. Any good league has to have a good talent pool, a good base to work from. We had a good vision of what we thought would be attractive to players, and I think both the markets we've picked and some of the rule changes that we put in the game, we really thought would be attractive to American players. But to be blown away by the talent that's entered the league through the draft, through free agency, and most recently the supplemental draft, I have to say our talent pool right now way exceeds our early expectations, and it's an exciting testament to, I think, what the players think about what the PBLA can be.
You mentioned the rules. How similar or different will this feel and look to fans that are fans of the NLL in the indoor game?
Well, I think it's going to look really familiar to the NLL fans. I think the subtle changes really are going to be transition. I think that one of the things we're working on, in the early days of the MILL, there was long bombs from goalies after a save, try to get 2-on-1, 3-on-1, up and down the floor. Now the NLL has become a little more platooned, an offensive, defensive sort of structure. The goalie gets the ball after a save, lets his defenseman get off the floor, gets his offense on the floor, and they work the ball around for a shot. So we're trying to bring some transition back into the game, on a shift-by-shift basis. So our players are going to have to learn how to play both ends of the floor.
So how do you do that in terms of the rules? What are you implementing?
Well, partly is, where players can substitute. So right now in the NLL, the players can substitute out the back door. And so if you start out with a 2-on-1, a 3-on-1 break, 2 or 3 guys can pop off the back door as 2 guys hit the front door, and it snuffs out the transition. All of our substitutions, coming off the field are going to come up the near door, and so it's going to eliminate that 10 or 15 yard advantage on a substitution and put it back in the offense's hands.
You're based in Elmira. The southern tier of New York is a place I know well, and I know Syracuse. I know you spent a lot of time developing different minor league teams in Rochester. There's a lot of this league that's based in that area. What was the vision and idea behind that? I'm guessing it probably helps with travel and a lot of other logistical things.
Yeah, it was partial travel. It was partial familiarity with the game. It was partially, around cities that have had indoor lacrosse. So it's not foreign, but maybe a little far away to support game in, game out. I think the tradition of the college programs in the region with our player pool that we're going after, played a big role, and our familiarity. I'm very familiar with the region and thought, what a better way to put it in markets with player pool, markets with traditional lacrosse, and build instant rivalries. We try to do the same thing, in our Carolina, Virginia region as well, around player pools of Division I talent, and close enough where, lacrosse fans love to travel. So we're hoping to build instant rivalries on both divisions.
You obviously have a lot of experience with, I think, this level of professional sports, whether it's your time with the Amherst there in the AHL or your time in the National Lacrosse League with the Nighthawks. How do you drive success with this level of professional sports where you're not at the top tier where it's the NFL or the NBA, but it's somewhere in the middle where you're trying to draw on local fans to feel a tie to a team that's in their hometown?
Well, I think it's a combination of things. It's, I think, one, supplying maybe a need that's not being supported right now in those markets. I think it's using familiar talent. Just not to knock, the Syracuse entry in the NLL years ago, but they came in with a lot of Canadian players, maybe a lot of unrecognizable names, and the players. And the Syracuse is going to have a great team this year, by the way, and they're putting it together with players from that region. Former SU players that have played the Onondaga Reservation, and so it's going to be both a great product on the field, very affordable, in a market that's not being served for, overserved by professional sports with recognizable names.
How will you determine success here with this league, whether it's some of your goals here in year one and then looking forward?
Well, I think number one, our goals are growing the game of box lacrosse. So the fact that in our first year, we've virtually doubled the number of American cities that have pro box lacrosse in year one, I think is a huge, victory in itself. I think number two, putting a product on the field that the fans will embrace and enjoy. The game in any version is a great game. I think what we're trying to do with our version of the game is to have the most impactful, exciting, fun version of box lacrosse that there is out there today. And then number three, selling it to the fans. Having a less than 1 year window to launch 9 teams. We're going to have crowds that are going to vary in size. We know that. And, but we also know that when people are exposed to the game, they love to come back. So we're going to be patient with our, model of building fans behind it. But I think we're excited to have great cities, great leases, great coaches, tremendous players. And now we got to build behind all of that.
And you mentioned the importance of giving Americans the opportunity to play. Is the vision that you hope that Americans can come into this league, learn this version of the sport, and continue to grow, whether it's continuing to be elite in your league or playing in the NLL and elsewhere?
Yes, I think players playing in our league their game will improve no matter which direction they decide to go. We're going to take our growth year to year. It's proven that, indoor box skills are great for the outdoor game. It's well accepted in Division I programs now, Division II programs, and 3. I think, the frustration for American players in the NLL is it may take them 3 or 4 years to get enough minutes to really have an impact, for themselves, and for the league. And, 3 or 4 years is a long time in a player's career. Those players can come into our league, I think, be impactful right away. Their learning curve will be a lot quicker. And if, they become stars in our league and stay with it, or if they grow from our league and go on to, be a star in the PLL or play in the LL, I think we'll be really excited for everyone that can grow from this experience.
All right, so we'll leave you with this because we're less than a month away from opening night in this league. What's the focus here in the last couple of weeks as we lead up to the first game in PBLA history?
Well, for the coaches, they've got some hard choices to make. There are going to be some tough cuts, and I think behind that is, what can we do to make the fan experience on opening night with the biggest crowds and the most exciting, atmosphere for all of our opening night games? So, and I think number 3, just get the games on. So that's going to be our goal. But I think the product's going to take care of itself, and we're going to grow into the business, week to week as the season progresses here.
Well, Steve, we're really excited to see it. It should be a lot of fun to watch the beginning of this league coming up later this month here in December, the PBLA inaugural season. We appreciate the time. We'll talk here as soon as we launch this thing and get into the season.
Travis, it's going to be part of lacrosse history, and I'm excited we're doing it together with the Lacrosse Network, Lacrosse TV, and hopefully in a couple of weeks we can look at some highlights and talk about how fun the game is.
We cannot wait, Steve. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Thanks, Travis.
Welcome back, lacrosse friends, to the PBLA's first ever game. Joe Sullivan's going to take us through some highlights from that second quarter.
Yeah, it was an exciting second quarter, back and forth, and you're just going to see here just patience. The All-Americans just, picking their spots and getting inside that Syracuse defense. Of course, here we go with that hop, skip, and a jump penalty shot that just froze up Seneca. Skylar Thomas doing what he does. Then the long bomb that's just a perfect pass. And you're going to see with the patience here, you think he's going to go across, and he doesn't. He goes right inside the wickets. That's Woodland doing what Woodland does. Again, outside transition shot. Just catches the goalie unaware, and that just a shooter's shot there from outside angle. Again, here we go. Same thing, a little bit of transition. I mean, most of what we've seen has been transition because this game is just so fast. Outside, they're going to feed it underneath. Turn around and ball change over. My apologies. And Skylar Thomas sees that player coming off the bench, hits him mid-stride, and he makes no bones about it and hops berries. Again, a little bit of transition here. One across, slide underneath, and tic-tac-toe. I think that's Woodland, the big junior B goal scorer. He buries one in tight. You called him out early, Stephen, to be a guy to keep aware of.
Yeah, I think we're going to see more from him. You could see the creativity. He almost had that beautiful goal earlier on the save that went off the shaft of John Jacobs' stick and off the crossbar and came flying out. Stick with us at the end of the game. We will have player of the game presentations to each team. It's going to be tough to pick. Well, I think we've got some leading candidates.
Yeah, this game can change so quickly, but you're totally right. There's some players that have really stood out.
One thing, I was talking to Rod Mahood, the PA announcer, who's a fantastic PA guy. Great to have him on board. And he was saying shots are 33-24 for Syracuse.
Yeah.
Even though Jim Thorpe's leading. Craig Seneca, to my mind, has got to be the leading candidate for Jim Thorpe All-Americans right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's made some great saves, but again, I'm going to go back to just that adjustment of wearing the smaller gear. Not majorly smaller, but it's smaller.
Yep.
It's something to think about, and for a goalie, they don't want any of those kind of distractions. He's played great.
Pass inside, didn't connect with Kevin Owen Hill. He's running out of time to get a shot off. He's going to miss wide as Trevor Stacey staying between him and the net. Cam Seneca is standing over Caleb Benedict. He'll hand it off to Skylar Thomas. And the beautiful penalty shot goal by Thomas and the great pass up to Zach Hops for his finish later in the quarter. Diving attempt, that's one right there. Yeah. Skylar Thomas, not the biggest guy, but he goes horizontal and reaches out.
He's a guy that'll pick your team up at any given opportunity, and he's just full of energy. Prior to this, he shot through the middle, opened up the floor a little bit, found himself at the back of the net, and there he is. He's got Seneca off to the one post. He goes opposite side, just buries.
We're just talking about how great Craig Seneca has been. I think he may have overcommitted a little bit to his near post. You can see everything, all his momentum going that way, and Thomas was able to change directions really quickly. He's got such great feet and great hands.
He's just very quick, and he's a very precise and accurate, great lacrosse IQ.
I'm Stephen Stamp with Joe Sullivan. This is the first ever game of the PBLA, and it's right here on Lacrosse TV. I almost said Lac Sports Network, which was the former name. It's Lacrosse TV, which is spreading all kinds of new platforms, lots of exciting stuff happening. Make sure you keep track and stay with us. We'll have a game of the week from the PBLA all season long. On the run. Oh, nice job by Jimerson. Randy Chrysler was talking about, or Matt Atwood, I think. Was it Randy Chrysler talking about Jonathan Jimerson? Yeah, talking about Johnny Jimerson. How quick he is, how skilled. Took a big hit, held onto it, but eventually the strip. And then Leroy Halfdown is stripped of his stick. Here's the outlet pass to Alec Tamas. Nice catch. He was looking at the man coming off the bench, and Lane Smith just said, slow it down. Sorry, that's Marty Hill saying slow it down. Alec Tamas, who's big in the development of lacrosse in Hungary, part of the Hungary team at the Lac this year, and they are building. They intend to be competitive on the world stage, build towards that. They've got Kyle Matisse in the pipeline to come and play for them. Yeah, Hungarian heritage. Obviously a terrific player to add to your program. That pass skips away. Jay Chubb wasn't able to come up with it. There's Seneca. Oh, that pass kind of crossed up Patrick Timothy. I'm not sure he was really ready for it. Syracuse
yeah, a little bit,
gets it
a little sloppier than what we've seen earlier, but this pace is just unbelievable.
Here's Zach Hops. Oh. The face saved by Craig Seneca. Wasn't sure who it was. It was right under his throat guard.
I think he popped it off his shoulder right up underneath his chin.
Yeah.
Again, you can see the movement of the goalies, and Craig's done a fantastic job. He's everything that Dallas Eliuk was hoping the goalies would have to play like.
Yeah, it's fun to have Dallas Eliuk involved, as we mentioned. There's a shot. That one's blocked. Had a chat with Dallas as we were on our way here, and he's fired up. We felt like the car was just energized as it was on the speakers over the car. I was obviously speaking legally on the phone. Never hold the phone while I'm driving.
Hands free.
Hands free. There's Leroy half down. Syracuse just getting their O going. They're down to 7 seconds. There's another diving attempt. Was that one? They think it's in.
They're pointing to the mesh, that it hit the mesh and rolled back out, but
Bill Hardy was right there on top of it, shaking his head. Craig Seneca came across. It may have been his glove that actually moved the mesh. The ball was close.
He came across hard, yeah.
Yeah. Here's Patrick Timothy. And it's funny, you can see he's admitted he's a new box guy. Here he drives to the net. That's a good play, good athleticism. But it was almost like you could see him thinking, what do I do? What do I do here?
Well, it won't take long, and I mean his speed and athleticism are going to make up for any shortcomings he has with learning the game, and that'll make up for it.
And the nice thing I like there was once he saw his lane, he didn't hesitate. He made that decision, so you can tell his thinking process is getting there. It's a lot to take in. I mean, for guys like you and I who've been around box lacrosse our whole lives, so much of it seems so natural.
That's true.
Here's Rio Johnson. It's a pretty good job to get that shot off, getting around the check from Ben Austin. Just went a little wide. Here comes Jim Thorpe the other way. Tamas comes up with it. Well, he's a guy who was a St. Catharines player, and he's played Arena Lacrosse League. He's very good there. He's coaching the Junior B St. Catharines Club, right? The Spartan. And,
he's done well everywhere he's gone.
Yeah, he's a very good
great
player.
To see guys like that get back into the coaching side of things too.
Always a defensive player, played transition, showed some skill there, but when he was playing for the Hungary team with some of the best uniforms in the Lac, I've got to say, gorgeous with the stylized stag on the front, he was an offensive force. There's a player in the crease. And it's going to be a penalty as it was Riley Johnson with his helmet off, was crawling, obviously in some discomfort after he'd been flattened. I think it's Trevor Stacey going to the box again, and he's no stranger to the penalty box.
Well, he'll keep you honest, that's for sure. You don't want to see him go to the penalty box that much, but he's doing his role. He's
trying to chop down the side of the penalty box wall. I don't know if you could hear that. We certainly heard it.
I think he was just trying to fix the head of his stick there.
Penalty shot coming. Jim Thorpe will take it, and it's going to be Marty Hill again. He is out there. He scored the first goal in PBLA history. It was on a penalty shot.
That's a 5 that we talked about there, right? So
okay, yeah, it's a major. So what will happen here is they will take the penalty shot, and then there will be a minor will be served. So Marty Hill will take the penalty shot, regardless of what happens. Somebody else, the in-home, has to go in. That is Ross Cree is going in now. He will serve the 2 minutes. Trevor Stacey will have to stay in for the full 5 minutes, and then the next dead ball stoppage after his time expires. He'll be allowed to come back. I was curious with the penalty shot option, as we mentioned, in case anyone didn't hear before, a 2-minute minor, you can take a penalty shot instead. A 5-minute major, you can take the penalty shot and have the 2-minute minor. I thought you might not see them take it on the 5s because
he did get a 2-minute minor there as well.
Oh, saved by the post. That's the 2 minutes going up that's being served. the 2 minutes that's up on the board is Ross Cree serving the 2 for Trevor Stacey.
Gotcha.
Stacey will be in until 5:04 left in the third quarter here. So, but I wondered, because if you take the major, you got 5 minutes. Maybe you want all that time. And you can see that Jacobs trying to make himself big. Hill looked like he had another one, but just pings it off the post.
Yeah, the goalie followed him right across. Very patient.
That's going to be a strategic challenge that the coaches are going to figure out as they go, how they like it, how they work. As a coach, what's your initial reaction? Would you take it on the minors? Would you take it on a major?
I think I'd take it in that situation. I really would, yeah. I mean, they've got a nice 9-6 lead, but you know what? A great opportunity just to take some momentum back at them.
And if you do score on the penalty shot, you get the penalty shot, and then you go to the man advantage.
Yeah, exactly.
Which helps. Syracuse has it now. They'll try and kill the final 18 seconds on this shot clock. Ideally, obviously, get a shot and a reset. And very close to an illegal substitution as Tim Zimmel was running to the bench, and the player standing at the door, which is the exit door from the bench, just said nope and pointed him over to the other door.
Little teamwork.
Yep. Is that going to be withholding? Oh, the 30 ran out. So good job by Syracuse to use up all their time.
Little turf monster over there by the change docks.
Yeah, I think Tamas got tangled up a bit with Carmen Papa and may have been looking for a penalty, but they were just both running, I think. No intent. Here's Marty Hill at the top. Curtis Woodland with the stick ready, but they go over to the other side, and it is banged home by Carter Zavitz on the crease.
Very quick ball movement. And then Zavitz with no issue finishing that. It almost looked like the goalie got there in time, but just wasn't able to. They move it up top. You're going to see Hill walk it in when he gets an opportunity here. He walks it into the normal setup on the top of the floor, and he's going to find Zavitz there with a quick stick down in the crease.
So they don't get the penalty shot goal, but they do get the power play goal from Carter Zavitz. It's 10-6. For the Jim Thorpe All-Americans. We were talking about before, like,
here it is.
Here we go.
So you're going to see the ball work itself around. It's going to come back up to the top. Hill's going to come in, and then he's just going to zip it down, and they catch the goalie just off the line a little bit. Zavitz is able to make him pay.
That wasn't terrible defense. I mean, it's just such a great, precise pass from Marty Hill, and the quick release. Oh, Patrick Timothy, that one's wide and hard off the backboards. It is scooped back up. Johnny Jimerson got it. They try to go on top of the crease. There's a player in the crease, so that one's not going to count even if it goes in. It doesn't. And here comes Syracuse. Lane Smith had spun around after his shot and was well in both feet, his whole body inside the crease. Nice strip by Ben Austin. He's one of the guys that I'm unfamiliar with. I'm liking some of the things he's doing.
Yeah, he's looked good. He's very solid both ways up and down the floor.
Yeah. Nice heads-up play there to step back, realize you don't have a transition chance, slow it down, get it to Lane Smith, and let him set things up.
These are the situations here defensively. You've got a couple, Hank Delisle, and you've got Thomas out there. Really tough situation. This is their second round of defense here. They're going to be awfully tired, and I don't know what they're going to have left.
Behind the back attempt by Riley Johnson, just missed. It goes wide. I was speaking to Josh Johnson in the halftime. He was down on the floor with 4 of his 5 kids. The baby's up in the stands with its mom, but he was saying, and he's a guy we may see in this league soon, but he was saying one thing about it is you get a bit more rest. Like, we're thinking about it's so fast, you have to go up and go back. But he said also you do the up and back, and then there's 2 full shifts of those guys. So you actually do get a chance to rest and recover. Nice pass, nice finish. Dalen Hill to Curtis Woodland. And that is what we're going to be seeing from the Jim Thorpe All-Americans.
Well, they've done this all game so far. I mean, it's their transition has been bang on. They move the ball well. They spread the floor. And they leave that defender out in an island there. And Woodland's able to bury that.
That's one where I think that didn't catch who the defender was for Syracuse, but I think Jacobs would really like him to take the pass there. You've got Curtis Woodland, one of the most dangerous shooters in the league, coming off the bench in transition on his correct side versus Dalen Hill, who's good, but on his offside.
Well, most goalies will tell you, and I get this from my old GM, Marty O'Neill, those goalies are going to dictate what they want. You want them to force the ball, put the ball in the air, or do you want them to take that pass away? You can't. You got to do one or the other.
Yeah, but I think in that one, you got to be thinking also about who it is. There's an underhand shot on the run, sweeping from Ross Cree. And then he tries to get it across. Jay Chubb's shot is blocked. Cam Seneca gets it ahead. We will be going to our media timeout at the next stoppage. And we're all going to get a bit of a rest because this is fast-paced and exciting action. I'm Stephen Stamp with Joe Sullivan. This is the PBLA on Lacrosse TV. Lane Smith spins again. Oh my, no. Yes! Yeah. I thought I saw the head shake. I think he's shaking. It wasn't you see Bill Hardy shaking his head. The ref saying, no, he's not in the crease. It's a good goal.
I thought he was actually going to roll back out. You can see he drops a shoulder to beat one. Then the second defender is going to come for support. But it actually uses that momentum to push him right across the crease and beat the goalie.
And that's a great call by Bill Hardy, the ref right on the spot. Lane Smith, who he's a big dude, but you can see the athleticism.
And he's got great, really good hands. Very, very good hands.
Yeah. The extension to reach out and get that one across, like, that's a great play and maintain. You know, we saw last week the Patrick Mahomes touchdown where he put all his weight on his left hand and reached out the ball with the right hand. And I'm not saying it's quite that level, but that's pretty athletic.
That's a big comparison.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's Patrick Mahomes, but I'm saying, you know, that athletic style, you got to love it. The awareness, the body awareness, and getting that off in time. Here's Smith with it again. What a pass. I didn't know if he even meant that. They're going to say that's a crease violation.
Definitely crease, but for him to be able to see that ball and move that ball the way that he did to get that pass across.
What a pass. And that will take us to the media timeout. We will take 90 seconds and we'll be back with the PBLA on Lacrosse TV. Welcome back, Lacrosse friends. Hank Delisle has the ball and we are underway with just over 6 minutes to go in the third quarter of the first ever PBLA game here at the Iroquois Lacrosse Arena. I'm Stephen Stamp with Joe Sullivan. Skylar Thomas has the ball. He's been outstanding. He's being watched by Tristan Jensen. Makes the pass across, doesn't quite connect. Jensen gets on his man. The ball is loose, and it's tried to be grabbed there by Rod Squire, the captain for Jim Thorpe. It did bounce over to his teammate.
That's a tough one. They want to generate something better than that, especially when they get that little bit of a break to set a play up. I got to think they drew something up that would have gotten them a good opportunity there. That's tough for Syracuse. They need to take advantage of every opportunity they get here.
Good defensive stand by the All-Americans. And here's Kevin Owen Hill to Baker Printup. Okay, Kent Baker Printup is turned aside. We'll have to check with Rod Mahood, who's down in the PA booth and has the shots on goals. I want to find out what the shots on goal are right now because he was saying 33-24 for Syracuse at the half. And, you know, Jim Thorpe was well ahead, largely thanks, of course, to Craig Seneca. I think he's only given up one this quarter. It was the diving goal by Skylar Thomas.
That's right.
Oh, Zach Hobbs with so many moves. And you look at it and you say, wow, what's the goalie going to do there? But somebody's got to hit him.
So, yeah, he can't have that much time. Either that or somebody's missed a check prior to. But it seems like every time we talk about Seneca, we jinx him and he ends up one sneaks in here. But, yeah, so he's going to see here. He just freezes up. That defender goes in to double up. But when he does so, he leaves him right out front with all kinds of time and just undresses Seneca there. I'm sure Seneca will talk to the bench. He'll let the boys know. Bit of a missed call.
Yeah.
That's how you grow as a family.
Yeah. It's interesting. Both teams actually talked about, both coaches and some players have talked about the family, the way, how quickly they've all come together. Syracuse has a lot of familiarity with each other, a lot of guys playing together already. And Ron Cogan was saying he thinks that's going to help with the chemistry.
They're calling a penalty here, and I think it's delay a game because he wouldn't put the ball down. Yeah. Which may be a new call for some of these box players coming in.
Yeah, they're just not necessarily familiar.
Yeah.
So that's Riley Johnson going to the box, and we're not. Are we seeing Syracuse use their penalty shot?
Geez,
what do you think? Would you do it?
I would do it here.
I would.
Yeah, I would do it here.
Chances.
Yeah.
Just give Skylar Thomas the ball.
Yep.
Yep, and that's what they're doing. Skylar Thomas already heading out to scoop it up. He'll hand it to Bill Hardy. Oh, Bill Hardy was looking the other way. He's writing down his note.
Thank you.
Roger Nurse and John Zabo down on the crease talking to Craig Seneca.
Is he going to do the hop, skip, and a jump and go far side, or is he just going to?
Got to go different.
Got to do something a little bit different. Yeah. Well, he is that player.
How about the hop and skip and go to the far side, then go back with one hand and try and tap it back in the backside? He could do it.
There's the hop. Steven actually called that one. He did the hop, skip, and a jump, and then pulled it back far side.
Wow. The only thing was he had two hands on the stick, went twister instead of the one hand.
Yeah, what was he thinking, eh? What was he thinking?
Come on,
That's
Skylar.
a fantastic effort by Skylar to get his team back in here and get a little bit of momentum going on.
Look at this. Oh, the hands.
Yeah. Honestly, the patience, and then Seneca looking around like, what am I supposed to do there? You know?
Pull the ball out of the back of the net and say, nice shot.
He's 5'9". His body just extended to 6'4" there.
Yeah. See, I have great ideas. I just can't do any of that stuff.
Oh, yeah. I'm with you.
I did score one goal in the Borough Boys League a couple years ago where I came out. I'd been practicing. I came out, went one hand behind the back, between the legs, bouncer, top corner.
Come on.
I'm not even kidding. And you know the crazy thing? John Grant Sr. Oh, what's going on now? Ron Cogan is over to talk to the officials. But yeah, John Grant Sr. was there earlier. He missed it.
Oh.
I was just thinking, can you imagine if Sr. saw that?
Well, it would have just been another day for him. That's comes natural to him.
He'd be like, oh, yeah, that's a good shot. I taught Junior that one. He did it all the time.
Well, both of them never had the sticks out of their hands. That's for sure. I mean,
and the ball with it.
Goats. Both goats.
Yeah. Senior always used to say, you got to have your stick with you all the time, and you got to have a ball, or it's a fly swatter.
Yes, he would say something like that.
Oh, he would. And when he said it, it would be so inspirational. I love to hear him talk about lacrosse. John Grant Sr. is just, I have
and
all
you know what?
the
He's
time
great.
in the
He's
world.
great with kids, with young kids.
They love him.
They just gravitate to him.
Yeah. Fantastic. Next generation is Gabby. I'm a big fan of Gabby.
Gabby, yeah, big field player. Holy mackerel.
Yeah. The Grants.
Just seen their Christmas post, the Grant Christmas picture, and I wanted to send something off to John and say, I don't know what you're feeding your cat, but that is one heavy, heavy cat.
I did not see that one.
Yeah.
I'll have to go look it up. Patrick Timothy stumbles a bit as he picks up that loose ball, but recovers his balance and will set things up. He is going to the bench. Get the attackers out. It's 12-8. It's just under 5 to go here in the third quarter. Jim Thorpe with possession. This is Tristan Jensen. Nice touch. They've written his name on his shirt. Oh, great save. John Jacobs, patient.
Critical save right there. You know, just a critical save. They need to come up with those here.
Saw Dalen Hill going back against the grain and just waited on it. That pass doesn't connect with Caleb Benedict.
Yeah, trying to swing the ball, open the floor up a little bit. Benedict.
There's Benedict, but Seneca saw that one all the way.
A little bit of pressure put on the All-Americans.
Baker Print up to the far side. Very patient approach now. You can see things slowing down a little bit, which I think is partly a factor of fatigue. I mean,
Well,
it's tiring running like that.
And if I'm the All-Americans, I want to use my full 30s. You know, we got a bit of a lead here. I'm not taking my foot off the pedal by any means.
Zavitz to Woodland again for a great chance. Woodland gets the reset. That's a great point, Joe.
Yeah, use the clock. You know, let everybody feel the ball here a little bit. Give the guys a water break on the bench. Yeah. And meanwhile, you're dragging this Syracuse defense out there. Well, I say defense. It's that line.
Yeah. Pass through to Martin around the world from Justin Martin. That is some skill, but it's stopped by Josh Jacobs. Here's some pressure from Martin and Baker Print up. Carter Zavitz stepping out on D. Boy, he's a skilled player. His younger brother, too, Keaton, he is something. So athletic. Stood out, just shone for Canada, the World Juniors this summer in Winnipeg.
Runs in the family.
It does. A lot of talent. And it looks like Stacy wants to go with Ben Austin. Ben Austin does not want it. Oh, maybe he does. Yeah, he's going to go. He landed a pretty good shot. I'm not sure he knows what he's in for. Oh, Trevor Stacy with the body slam. Not sure you're supposed to do that. Ben Austin just has stuff coming out everywhere.
Yeah, that's a. I didn't see it build up. I don't know if. I mean, I know that's Stacy's go-to for sure. He's a tough guy that likes to play a tough game. I didn't see the build up to it. I don't know if there was a shot that took place prior to.
Here we go.
See if we can see anything happening here. So a bit of a high stick. Yeah, there it is. That's the high stick, and Stacy's not going to have any of it. And then he's still not sure what the heck's going on, but.
Now that, actually, Trevor Stacey initiates that fight. He does take his helmet off, but he initiated the fight with his helmet on, and that is actually a match penalty if you initiate a fight, if you instigate a fight with your helmet on while the other player does not have theirs on. I think he's gone. It could be for that, and he's doing the tough guy thing. That's kind of his thing. We'll see if there is a match called because of that. He did take his helmet off, but he started throwing punches first. It's if they decide he was the instigator.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's trying to rally the club here a little bit. Maybe just a good square up would have been fine. That late takedown might cost him, obviously. And
yeah,
we'll have to see how this plays out. I know Syracuse doesn't want to put themselves any further down than they are, because they got themselves right back within reach of this game.
Yeah, just a 4-goal spread, and they've got some momentum. Now we'll see what the penalties wind up being, because if you wind up with an uneven situation, we could have another penalty shot. And Ben Austin's kind of getting himself back together over in the penalty box, getting everything sorted out.
Yeah.
So we will have a face-off.
This is very normal in box lacrosse for it to take a little bit of time here. They want to sort it out, make sure the right people are where they need to be, and get this thing moving. I'm sure the players don't actually mind this break.
Yeah. Like we said, they're running back and forth all the time. So recently, it's been a couple minutes, but Rod Mahood let me know the shots on goal, 41-30 for the Syracuse Spark. I'm not sure what they're up to now, but that wasn't too long ago. And now
referees are getting together to make a decision on what may have been the call that just come up.
Yeah, Ross Cree is in the penalty box. He'll be serving whatever penalties Trevor Stacey got. Let's see these 2 goals by Skylar Thomas on penalty shots.
Very familiar. So if you could freeze and watch, just bang, hop, skip, far side.
Yeah.
Now we're going to see a hop, skip, fake far side, come back. That is absolutely athleticism, with a capital A. That's fantastic.
Skylar Thomas, he just does things that I can't even imagine doing. Like, I can imagine it. Like I said, I can think of these shots. And obviously I did. I was like, hey, do this, Skylar.
You did call it.
I could not do it in a million years. And not that many could either.
Here comes
the scuffle.
Yeah, Austin, really doesn't look like he wanted anything to do with it for the longest time, and then he had no choice but to do something. He did catch him with one. Both boys landed some good shots, but
yeah. Ben Austin's still getting his stuff together. He's taping his pads back.
Sometimes there's just not enough electrical tape.
Right. It's actually interesting, as Austin started, it looked like he didn't want to fight, but he was kind of getting into it, and he actually still had his stick in his hand and almost swung his stick at Trevor Stacey, which I'm sure Trevor Stacey didn't like.
Time of the penalties, 12-14.
Yeah, his second major.
But usually a fighting major doesn't count towards 2 majors for ejection. So they said 5, we just heard it's 5 for fighting for each player, and Trevor Stacey, because he's had 2 majors, has been ejected, but usually if they're offsetting like the fighting majors, I didn't think those counted, but I could be wrong. Outlet pass to Alec Tamas, kind of handcuffed him, but he handles it nicely with the chest. Little soccer style play. Tamas lob pass.
Ross Cree gets a bit of a break.
Yeah. Over to Jensen. Again, Jim Thorpe being patient. Got 15 left on the shot clock. Rod Squire to Jensen. It gets loose. Here comes Zimmel. Bounces off the check. He's running. He's got hops with him. He's got half down trailing. There's half down. Oh, back to Zimmel. Nice play, but Craig Seneca is there.
Great opportunity. I was going to call it out. It was a basic 4-on-2, and I was wondering why they all went up the floor, but
yeah. Poor decision making?
Well, sometimes just, you get tired. You just simply get tired. Right?
Yeah. Carter Zavitz takes it. 14 on the shot clock for Jim Thorpe. Oh, Curtis Woodland with the hat trick from the outside. He is getting warm.
Yeah, I think you're going to see him use that defender and just reach around, but great opportunity here. They use their transition. They're getting the right guys on the floor. Syracuse sitting back a little bit, and you're going to see him reach around there and use this bit of a screen there off those defenders. That's what the best shooters do, right? Yeah. They create their own space.
Yeah. Okay. What? The refs are saying something. They're going over to talk to the bench. Randy Chrysler wants an explanation.
I do like to see that the referees and the coaches are going to talk. It's always good that they're talk. There's good lines of communication versus, the yelling and screaming that you may see out of frustration. I haven't seen that here today. I see coaches really taking their time to be professional, approach the coaches and do it, referees, and do it the right way.
Yeah. And like you said, Randy Chrysler and Ron Cogan both being respectful, emphasizing the points when they need to. We're going to have an announcement.
Ron Cogan looks a little bit like Johnny Cash over there with the all-black suit, looking pretty smart.
Looking pretty stylish. He doesn't know what's going on, though. He's throwing his hands up saying, what is happening?
Not sure what the confusion is, but here we go.
Patrick Timothy misses that.
He's got the hat trick. Scored by number 4, Curtis Woodland.
Well, you called him out at the start of the game, Stephen, to say that he was what he did in Junior B and all that kind of great stuff, but he's showing it here again.
Yeah, he's a guy I really thought had a chance to do some great things in the game, and he's showing tonight the skill. And, it's... yeah, he's doing very well.
The Syracuse team's got to find some rhythm here and get themselves going. They showed it early. Boom. Great opportunity. Seneca just shut him down right goal mouth.
Oh, Justin Martin was trying to get his shot off before he could pick the ball up. He was going so fast in the ball. He's trying to catch the ball, and he knew he had to pick it up and shoot quickly. So he tried to get the shot going, and he just didn't have time to get it.
Great speed, though. You could see him shag that ball down.
I love watching him play lacrosse. Nice sidearm pass to Jensen. Watch there by O'Brien. Gets underneath, flips it back up top to Zavitz. They're going to run out of time in the 30.
Smart play by Zavitz, realizing there's less than 2 seconds left. Just dumps it in the corner.
25 seconds to go in the third quarter. More than that on the shot clock. So they can wait for last shot if they want. Syracuse down by 5. Not sure if they will wait that long. Halftown was cutting through. Rio Johnson, he's going to shoot. That turns into a pass. That's off the back of the crossbar and up out of play.
Smart play to try to get that reset there from behind.
Now, but it's not a shot on goal if you shoot from behind the net.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what we've seen there. He shot from behind, hit the crossbar. But
I guess because it went off the crossbar. Now here's a shot at the empty net, which almost went. It was going to be after the buzzer anyway, but nice try there by Curtis Woodland going for his 4th to match his uniform number. We're going to take a 2-minute break here on Lacrosse TV with the first ever game in PBLA history, and we'll be back with the 4th quarter. Here are the highlights from the third quarter.
There's that early dunk behind the net where we had Seneca grab that wrong post, and Thomas just made him pay going far side. We get into that power play, quick stick down to Zavitz on the crease. Great look, great vision, great finish. Long ball pass here. You're going to see just feed off that transition with the All-Americans have done that all game. They've done a great job with that transition, really dominated. Here, that second man comes in, and actually the momentum carries him across the net. He's able to bury in tight. Big, strong man with great hands. Here we go, far side. Going to come in. Left all alone out front, and you give anybody that kind of time at this level, they're going to make the goalie pay. Here comes Woodland's third, reaches around, uses that defender as a bit of a screen, and cashes in. Great shot. That's a shooter's shot for sure.
You see the little extra stretch he took on that step? I didn't see it until that replay where he's kind of stepping, but he takes that little extra long stride, kind of drops him down, so he goes sidearm to take it. But that's what created that lane. Like, that's just such a little detail that can make such a big difference. And like you said, shooter's shot. He is so good. Syracuse with the ball. Dan Rogers off the faceoff. He's going to hand it off to Zach Hops. And we're underway. It's 13-8 for the Jim Thorpe All-Americans over the Syracuse Spark. Played here at the ILA. I'm hearing the first game every season will be played here at the ILA. Most of the games will be played south of the border. Here's a great chance, but the save made it look easy and rolled in behind him. Is it still in the gear? It's in the pad like that one earlier.
Got it in his gear, yep.
Remember the one earlier where the ball went in and the other ball was in his pad? See, that's what he was doing. He's trying to hide one for later. See, look, the ball's right out here.
Great opportunity by Syracuse there. They made a great pass in tight, just couldn't finish.
Rod Squire finds Kyler Kilgore. Shovel pass. Some big defensive pressure, and Rod Squire is flattened by Casey Swamp. He pops back up, and they're just going to fling it in the corner as the 30 expires.
Big Casey's good for a couple of those a game. I've seen already 2 where he's made someone pay, one right after a goal.
I want to give a shout out to JVI Sports Network for doing the broadcast here. They're doing a terrific job. The camera work's been great. Our directors have been finding amazing replays for us. But a goal there by Sky Sunday, and Craig Senna just gets kind of wrong-footed, and I'm sure we'll have another great replay of this one.
Yeah, that's not the typical shot that we've been seeing going in the net here tonight. But Sky Sunday just frees himself up, gains a step, and just gets those hips turned on a nice rifle from out top.
Was that tipped on the way in? Because
I don't know.
Because he really seemed to be changing, and then it kind of went back the other way, you know?
Well, that's a big goal for Syracuse regardless. I mean, like I said, they need to find themselves a small run here to get themselves back in, and that could be the one they need right there.
Jim Thorpe's just been responding every time, so we'll see.
Syracuse goal, number 71, Sky Sunday.
Yeah,
so it did go off the defender up high and change directions. So a tough break for Craig Seneca.
Good eye by Steven Stamp to see that deflection.
Here's a chance for Dalen Hill. Hands it off over to Johnny Jimerson. They come back to Johnson. Riley Johnson, but got away from him. And there's Casey Swamp. Didn't flatten. How does Carter Zavitz? Oh, look at that. And that is Carter Zavitz absorbing a hit from one of the biggest men on the floor and just bouncing off and making the pass. That is how you can play at high levels when you're not the biggest guy out there.
Lacrosse IQ and speed, and he used them both. And Hill just gets that top. He's got enough time to take a look at that net, find what he wants. And like we said, there is a little more mesh showing now, and he just picked that corner.
Johnson and Rogers back up. Papa kind of overran that ball. A couple of Spark going after, but it's Alec Tamas coming away with it. Here's Justin Martin. So we said, you know, every time Syracuse tries to close the gap, Jim Thorpe All-Americans are just responding.
Yeah, I mean, that's what good teams do. They find a way to answer that bell, and they've done it all night long. It's got to be frustrating for Syracuse because they've played a great game.
Yeah, they played well. I mean, here's Justin Martin going to the net. Stopped by Jacobs. I wasn't sure. It looked like it might be sneaking through, but he pounced over on the loose ball.
It looked like they set that up earlier in that set there, where they flooded the far side and let Martin have a good run.
Yeah.
With his speed, if he gets underneath you, I think he's getting to the net every time.
Yeah, he does have long strides, but he's so quick getting going, and then once he gets to full speed, you're in trouble. Here's Caleb Benedict. Nice little shovel pass back across. The sidearm shot, that one's blocked out front. Stopped by Kent Baker-Printup, who's looking ahead. Oh, great catch by Tamas, and the goal! We saw plenty of that when he was playing for Hungary at the Laxney, and that is just beautiful transition. the pass, the catch, the finish. It was all sensational.
It is all that. It's a great pass, and that may look very simple, but that's awfully hard to do on the run with a defender on you, and then to find him mid-stride, and a great finish. A great finish.
And accepting that pass down by your feet, that's really something. Remember, go to PBLA.com. Check out the schedule, see when there's a game near you, and go check it out in person. I'm sure you're having fun watching it on the broadcast, but it is exciting to be here in the building. The fans really seem to be enjoying themselves. Although, that's got to be a penalty. It wasn't vicious, but right on the head by Patrick Timothy coming down at Zachary Hobbs.
Yeah,
now
I think it's completely accidental for sure, but just the same, they got to make the call.
Yeah. Now, are you going to take if you don't score here on the delay, are you going to take the penalty shot?
I'm taking the penalty shot.
Oh, what catch and shot by Caleb Benedict.
I'm going to just predict that it's Skylar Thomas that takes it.
He's already out there.
Now, where's he going this time, Stephen? Can you call that one for us?
Okay, so he went hop and skip and jump, goes far side, hop, skip and jump, fakes far side, goes back, hard twister. I think he's going hop, skip and jump, and I think he goes fakes high and goes bouncer. That's
bouncer. Fake high, go bouncer, but the hop, skip, and a jump's a given, I think.
I mean, that's
his thing.
That's just the setup. It's like a high jumper who gets into their rhythm with the
Here we go.
Here he goes. We'll see. Goes back out wide.
Nice trot in. Coming in a little quicker than last time.
Here's the hop. A little bit.
He didn't hop, skip, and he kind of gave a half hop.
He did a hop and then just ran in, and Seneca was waiting for it. It just goes a little sidearm. Nothing really fancy about that one, but beautiful shot by Skylar Thomas.
So that's number 4 for Mr. Thomas.
Yeah. Oh, he's been
3 penalty shots will do it for you. I mean, and then that great dunk from behind the net.
See how quickly he gets that shot off when he sees his spot? I think he may have been thinking about making a move. Just saw that Seneca was stepping out to try and take away the deke and just gets him to strike.
Yeah, I think he came in quicker this time too. Yeah. So if Seneca's trying to, gauge the approach.
Yeah. Skylar Thomas, if you're looking on the site and you see Skylar Thomas with 2 Ks, that is correct. It is SKKYLAR. And you know what? When you're that good, that talented, you can have all the Ks you want.
Yeah.
Syracuse gets it back. They're within 5 once again. See if they can get a run going with 11.5 to go here in the 4th. Palisek's pass was partially blocked, but it does get out to Cree. Ross Cree with it. He's harassed there by Austin, who's taped himself back together. Here's Thomas. He is taken down en route to the net by Rod Squire. Still got a pretty good shot.
Oh, yeah. He's got some great kickoff, great first step for sure.
Dalen Hill to Riley Johnson will hand it off quickly. There's Justin Martin. Patrick Timothy, the last man out.
10 on the clock.
Yeah. Be interesting to see if Jim Thorpe really focuses. Yeah, they are. I was going to say, there's Hill. No goal. He stepped in the crease. But I was wondering if they're going to have somebody going back early, and Alec Tamas was at center by the time Marty Hill was getting ready to take that shot.
Well, they're going to have to push a little bit for sure. They got to make things happen, and they got to make them happen quickly.
Yeah. So, but it was Alec Tamas, the defender.
Yeah.
Going back to take that away for Jim Thorpe, which I think they're going to do more and more.
Well, they can afford to. That's for sure.
Yeah. Here's Rio Johnson. Didn't go underhand, went dead sidearm, and that's a pretty good shot. But Craig Seneca was able to stop it.
Get a nice full 30 there, so this offense can pick them apart.
Johnson with the fake comes over to Caleb Benedict. There's some young players. A lot of guys playing, some junior B, looking at, I think the Six Nations Arrows having an eye on some of these players. And boy, we're seeing some good stuff from them.
You've got quite a variety of, talent pool as far as where they've come from. It's incredible to see them come together so quickly.
Hard rip from Zavitz. Nice job, Zach Hobbs, who's been very solid for Syracuse. Gets it. Skylar Thomas. Oh my goodness. Wow. Echoes of the second penalty shot goal.
Yeah, I got to think he's ready to go see the chiropractor here. I mean, You see him fight through and then lean in and then jerk his body all the way back around.
And stay in the air so he doesn't touch down before the ball gets in.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then run off.
Yeah.
I mean, that's quite a feat. That's great athleticism that we've seen again from Skylar Thomas.
Hope he gets in the ice bath after the game. Alternating ice, cold water, hot water.
Oh, he's playing on pure adrenaline. I'm sure they all are. It's first game, good crowd, playing a little pro lacrosse.
Yeah. What an opportunity for some of these players. A lot of American-based and First Nations players playing in this league. And boy, we're seeing some excitement.
And we're seeing a mixed bag of everything. Like some great speed, some great defense, some great offense.
Palaszczuk spins around. He's got a man down at the crease, misses him. Delilah took a look, but the passing lane wasn't there. It's Carmen Papa trying to get in position. Here's Palaszczuk. Carmen Papa can't get a pass. He thought that was coming to him. Caleb Benedict got it, though. Ooh, that was tapped back. That was pretty close to back in.
I don't know if he had full control, but yeah.
Yeah, but he directed it in. Lobbed pass from Squire back across to Justin Martin, who's going to slow it down again. Jim Thorpe using some time on these possessions. Riley Johnson quickly across to Tamas. He looks like he thinks he's got a lane. Zimmel was coming up, and the lane underneath was there, but Zimmel, nice job.
So you see them protecting the top of the floor here too, Stephen. Five on the clock. They've got 2 defenders back. They're going to leave it in the corner and let the clock run out.
Yeah.
They'll get their 5 guys back, get settled, get rested, make any changes and adjustments.
Yeah. And it's Tamas that seems to be leading the way, heading back first. Although that's just a couple examples. Rod Squire, the veteran, gets back there as well. The captain. Here's Skylar Thomas. Nice attempt by Martin, but how he kept his stick clear, I don't know. That one's picked off though. Here's Martin. He's not going to push it here, I don't think. He knows that he doesn't really have numbers, so he'll just roll it very smartly over to Carter Zavitz, who's having himself a great game. Kevin Owen Hill. Woodland couldn't connect with Kevin Hill. Ball rolls into the corner. Jay Chubb going after it. The shot clock about to expire. And again, there are already 3 Jim Thorpe All-Americans back in the defensive zone.
They had a reset there. I'm not sure if the reset went to 8 seconds. Going to go to the All-Americans.
We're going to have a timeout taken by the Jim Thorpe All-Americans. They'll regroup. And we actually, it's the media timeout. It's 7:26. I thought they were pointing at the bench. So we're just going to, we're going to go. We'll be back in 90 seconds here at the PBLA. Welcome back, lacrosse friends, to the PBLA on Lacrosse TV. I'm Stephen Stamp with Joe Sullivan. And I've lost my sheet. I'll get it back. But it's 15:11. We've got 7:26 to go, and we're going to take a look, I think, at some of Skylar Thomas's handiwork.
Well, he's been a busy man all night long for Syracuse, and he's played some solid defense. There's his first penalty shot. That hop, skip, and a jump and goes short side, freezes up Seneca. Second penalty shot, hop, skip, and a jump, and then brings it back around on Seneca. Fantastic athleticism. Then he's going to come in here a little quicker. Doesn't quite do that jump and catches Seneca flat-footed. Able to get his 3rd penalty shot. And here's the big one that he just finished with, where he stretches his body out and goes short side on Seneca yet again.
We're back underway. Kyler Kilgore under some heavy checking from Carmen Papa. Just lobs it over to Jimerson. Nice poise and composure by the Jim Thorpe All-Americans. O'Brien trying to get the ball away from Patrick Timothy, who's showing some composure himself. Jimerson, not sure that's the shot you're looking for with 12 seconds on the shot clock and a 15-11 lead with 7 minutes to go. Carmen Papa gets it. He's got a man with him. It's Zimmel. Oh, he makes the pass.
Wow.
I thought he'd run himself out of time.
That was tight.
That
was tight.
Yeah. I know my inner voice is like, make the pass, make the pass, make the pass. Here's Caleb Benedict. Oh, he's over on this side. The ball's actually on the far side with Hank Delisle. Oh, nice pass through to Palaszczuk. The big save by Craig Seneca.
Good second chance there as well.
You know, Syracuse is doing a lot of things well, but there just seems to be a difference in calmness. Jim Thorpe doesn't seem flustered or rushed anytime that they have the ball.
Yeah, and I would say, I mean, Woodland's had a night for sure, but they've done it by committee. You know, I think that All-American team has really spread it out. Everybody's contributing offensively for sure.
Oh, yeah. Marty Hill, Kent Baker-Printop has been very good. Carter Zavitz. You know, obviously the goaltending from Seneca. And defensively, they're doing some really good things, just keeping the pressure on Syracuse. Bill O'Brien just flattens the player. It's not the first time that's happened. Dalen Hill is back up. Dan Rogers tried to grab it. It got away from him, but he managed to corral it. Here comes Zachary Hops. 5.5 to go, down by 4. Not time to panic, but definitely Syracuse needs to keep the pressure on. Again, stay with us for the player of the game presentations at the end of the game. Go to PBLA.com. Check out the schedule, where and when games will be available near you. What a rip from the outside by Delisle, but it's a little wide, and
Here
Justin Martin is taken off.
Oh, no. He was gone if he wanted to there.
Oh, that's a nice pass. And Skylar Thomas taking a couple swats at Carter Zavitz. Here's Woodland. Oh, what a move. Not a very good shot, right in the sparkle muffin on the chest of
the sparkle muffin.
John Jacobs. I just think it's very funny. They're nasty looking spiders. They're so sparkly, but they look mean. It's just a funny name though. Palasek gets it down. Carmen Papa looking for someone to get it to. It's Sky Sunday, sorry. Hard shot, but Seneca had no trouble with that. Palasek gets the rebound. If he'd been able to pick it up right away, he could have got a shot, but smartly realized he didn't have a good shooting angle and goes back to the fresh 30.
It's really they're great ball movement here and great patience. To watch Syracuse move this ball around. Yeah.
Then the pass went low though, and the thing, I mean, Jim Thorpe's okay if Syracuse takes their time, because we're down to under 4 minutes. One interesting thing, with the way we go, the goalie near your bench in the first and fourth quarters, and at the far end in the second and third, rather than switching every time, it means that it's easier for you to pull your goalie, right? Because you don't have to go to the far end of the floor. The goalie can just go just to the restraining line. You get that extra attacker out. We'll see as Lane Smith tries to whirling dervish his way through the defense. There's John Jacobs. When will he start coming to the bench?
Whirling dervish. You don't hear that every day.
I think you should. Oh, Skylar Thomas. Only the post can stop him at this point. He wants it back. But Ross Cree is going to let that one rip. Oh, it was behind Greg Seneca.
So close.
Heads up by Ben Austin. The ball may have stopped rolling already, but he was in there to make sure it didn't get in. And we're coming down to 3 minutes to go. Marty Hill with the ball. Got to think Jacobs is... They're thinking about bringing him to the bench at this point. We'll see. Johnson on the near side.
Oh.
That shot's wide.
Shot through that screen. Here we go. Oh, man.
Almost for Zimmel, who's added some excitement to this game.
Well, you got 2.5 left to go. I mean, they got to put everything in that now. They got to get their key guys out there. They got to do anything they can.
Shots on goal, 60-41 for Syracuse.
Yeah, they put a few balls on net.
Yeah. That one's off the post, off the back of Seneca, and then out to Caleb Benedict. If he'd picked that one up, he was going to, you could see what he was thinking, that he had a chance to get on. There's a shot by Palasek. No problem for Seneca on that one. Riley Johnson stripped. Rio Johnson behind the back. Oh, you got to shoot that one, Caleb Benedict.
Yeah, nice pass, but I mean, there's a time to pass and a time to just bury.
But it goes in. A strange little series of events does lead to a Syracuse goal with 2:01 to play. They're within 3.
Gonna have to watch this one again because a lot happened in that little transaction there. Gets stripped. You're gonna see that backhand and followed by another backhand. Gonna sit up, rolls around on the goalie a little bit. Oh, just picked.
Yeah, picks off the pass out of the crease. Justin Martin was lobbing it in.
Nice.
And Tommy Palasek just stole his lunch money. That's a Sean Evans play. How many times have you seen Sean Evans up on the crease and just, he's so good getting the stick there, just steal it, and then you're in big trouble.
Number 84, Tommy Palasek. Unassisted. Time of the goal, 12-15.
Kevin Owen Hill. Martin, Jim Thorpe really taking their time now. Hard shot late in the 30. And again, Alec Tamas is back over center.
They gotta go.
And Hank Delisle is out there. Or is that? No, that's Skylar Thomas. I was going to say, Skylar Thomas has to be your first guy. Now Jacobs has gone to the bench.
They got to get right to it here. Too many men.
That'd be a penalty shot.
Well, I don't know. I think they're going to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was the change?
So that's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't know if their one referee caught it. Rogers over there. He was watching the bench. He was the back man there. I'm pretty sure he picked that up. Which is okay. If you're Syracuse, you got a bit of a break. You should be talking about what's going to happen here.
Caleb Benedict is going to start with the ball. So I think it was just a just a mistake, and they get corrected. That's good. Referees
are all over it, trying to keep it honest.
14 seconds.
14 on the shot clock. Great job by the refs to be on top of it. Let Rob Mahood know to share it with us. I'm Steven Stamp with Joe Sullivan. What an exciting opening game for PBLA history here at the ILA.
Well, who do they try to give the ball to here?
Oh, I don't know, Skylar Thomas?
Yeah.
It goes to him, it's low, he catches it. He's a good feeder as well as a shooter. And there you go, that's a great pass. Sky Sunday has just turned aside. Fresh 30, they've got it back. Still 6 attackers for Syracuse. A minute to go, they need 3 goals. Thomas has it, gets it to him. I thought Martin might have picked it off. Here's Jay Chubb. Thomas fakes back to him, now goes to Chubb. Oh, off the post.
Was that the post?
Yeah, great feed by Sky Sunday. Delisle is turned aside. Oh, they tried to get it to Delisle and just a little bit away from him. Now, John Jacobs is running back to the net. I don't think Alec Tamas is going to look for a shot. No, he'll just roll it to Dalen Hill.
No need.
They can kill all but 5-6 seconds of the rest of the game. Stay with us again after the final buzzer for the player of the game presentations. I'll tell you, Jim Thorpe All-Americans not making it easy for the selection process.
No, I mean.
Oh, Dalen Hill. That is beautiful.
And classy, he scores. He's not putting his hands up. He knows everybody's giving it everything they could here. Yeah. 8 seconds left in this thing.
I think it's safe to say the Jim Thorpe All-Americans will win the first game in PBLA history.
Yeah, great effort. I mean, he just gets left alone and he's got time. I mean, what are they going to do? Not the finish Syracuse wanted, but I mean, what a game. What a game. A great first game for the league to really show everybody just the speed that this game is going to bring.
And they're going to be working on how to get the best defensive groups out, how to try to deal with all the injuries, all the tweaks on this game. But I think the penalty shot thing for penalties has got to be pretty popular. That's some excitement.
Well, yeah, I mean, absolutely it did.
And don't take penalties against Syracuse.
Yeah, well, right. Yeah, I mean, that single-handedly brought them right back in. And that run that they needed, they got through that over time. The All-Americans played a great game in transition, had some great goaltending.
So the teams will come together and shake hands. Yeah. The coaches for Jim Thorpe racing out to shake their guys, and then they'll be at the end. Matt Atwood and Travis Irving. And Matt Atwood, who's part of Randy Chrysler, couldn't say enough good things about his players, his coaches joining him. Let's look at the highlights from this fourth quarter.
Just a rocket from outside. He got those hips turned. Again, same thing. You're seeing the same thing from both ends. Just good, strong outside shooting. You're going to see great transition here, and the All-Americans did this all game long, and they were able to make Syracuse pay for that. again, here's your penalty shot specialist in Skylar Thomas early on. I mean, 3 penalty shot goals, all of them highlight type real goals. And this one here, I mean, it stands alone to be maybe the best goal of the game. That's my opinion.
I think so. I mean,
great effort here. You know, they strip it down. There's that crazy backhand, another backhand. They go to clear it, and they just pick it off, and they're able to find the back of the net with a real easy shot out front.
The players of the game being announced, no surprise for Syracuse. Skylar Thomas, that was an easy one. More difficult on the other side. I mean, Craig Seneca was great with all those saves. I think Carter Zavitz was really good. Kent Baker-Printup had 7 points. But it's Curtis Woodland with the hat trick and looking very dangerous for the Jim Thorpe All-Americans. That will wrap things up for us here at the Iroquois Lacrosse Arena on Lacrosse TV. I'm Steven Stamp with Joe Sullivan. Thank you on behalf of the crew who did a fantastic job. Thank you all for watching the game with us, and we will see you next time.
Absolutely. Great night, great first game. Couldn't ask for anything better.
Thanks for being with us, folks.